And welcome inside another edition of the WPIAL Insider Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, and welcome live to Tequila Cowboy on Pittsburgh's North Shore, the site of this weekend's WPIAL 2025 Football Championships and the site of our live WPIAL Insider Championship Preview Show. The usual suspects are, of course, joining me from the Pittsburgh Union in Progress, Mr. Brad Everett.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes, a packed capacity crowd here at Tequila
Nobody
Cowboy
has tomatoes out there, right?
Because they knew the WPIAL Insider himself would be here in attendance. It's Carlos Zofko.
Thanks for being
clapping.
here. There it is. We got a whole bunch of clapping here. Everybody loves the Insider.
There's a reason why I wasn't. And I am just the two-time pick champion, Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along in this WPIAL Championship Preview Show. We'll break them all down, the four classifications that are on tap for you from Acrisure Stadium on Saturday. And, of course, we will do a little bit of reminiscing of the two champions that have already been crowned in the WPIAL in Class 6 and 4A. But as we always do, gentlemen, takeaways. You know, I'm going to kick this off with, been to Tequila Cowboy many times, and I've always wanted to perform on the main stage. I really feel like of all the places that I've been, from Madison Square Garden to the Staples Center, I've always wanted to do it here. And I feel like I'm checking off a bucket list item.
I've never been on the main stage here at Tequila Cowboy, but
Right.
I have been in the wannabe stage, stage in the back.
Well, that's kind of where you belong.
And for good reason.
No, it's very cool. You know, like I've been covering high school sports for about 20 years, and this Saturday is one of the best days of the high school sports season overall, like regardless of sport. And it's cool to be broadcasting here from this place because we're on the North Shore, and all this magic's going to happen right down the street on Saturday.
We got some players, coaches, friends, and family of making their way in here to TC, and we're going to get to talk to a bunch of them and their aspirations of winning a WPIAL title this weekend. But the championship jitters, the championship opportunities, we have so many great storylines coming into this weekend. And I think probably the best part of this weekend is you have the storylines of the teams that have been there and have done it and are renewing the rent in a lot of ways. And you also have the teams that haven't been there in a while and are getting the first chance opportunity, not only for their teams, but their communities for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, these guys, it's a little bit from both ends of it because we have a team like Peters Township and Pine Richland who, you know, like they're used to playing in these championships. This is the third year in a row for those guys. But then you have a team like Laurel that hasn't won a championship since 1980. So it'll be interesting to see who prevails on Saturday.
All right, we're going to jump into our first segment, and it is a tribute to champions. We were talking about the teams that have already been crowned WPIAL champions, and we saw two epic battles on Saturday. It was first the Aliquippa Quips doing it for an unprecedented 21st time, taking down the McKeesport Tigers in dramatic fashion as MJ Council, Marcus Council, dials up an absolute gem, and we're going to take a look at some of the highlights, but this one really goes down as one of the all-time greats in championship history.
It's crazy because it was only a month or two ago where we questioned whether or not Aliquippa was even going to make the playoffs.
We thought they were dead to rights.
We thought they were dead. And all of a sudden, like, they come back, they make the playoffs, and Marcus Council, he goes from hurt to healthy, and, you know, I don't know what kind of voodoo, they used on him or anything like that. But
there's the touchdown pass I was referring to, the Council touchdown pass that cemented it. And they've had 3 of those this year, but he was just on another level.
He really was, and that was a championship performance. You saw the touchdown run there. That was his first touchdown run. And I will say this game in recent memory, that was one of the hardest hitting championships I can remember on both sides. I mean, McKeesport brought the lumber. Aliquippa absolutely brought the lumber as well. But I'll tell you, some major performances. Josh Lay, Khalil Good, J.J. Work. Those guys were playing on both sides of the ball and hitting hard. And 2 of those guys, Lay and Good, they're defensive backs. You don't normally hear defensive backs lay in the wood like that. And, credit to McKeesport as well. You know, they got hit a couple times, came back, hit back. But I don't know, fellas. McKeesport, this was the year for them to do it. Everybody thought last year was, hey, that was great to make it, but really our year is 2025. Well, it was not, and now you have to start wondering, is it time? Is it time to put the triple option to rest?
I think it's been time. A lot of people have been saying it's been time for a while now, but I'd also argue, how can Mike Warfield not be the front runner for Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
And he comes back after a year hiatus and is able to orchestrate what was a turbulent season for Aliquippa. You lose your starting quarterback, you get your starting quarterback back, and to do it against the best running back in the class of 2027.
Mike Warfield, I mean, he does it again. Year away, and all of a sudden he comes up and he wins the title for them. And I think that was one of the biggest upsets of the playoffs so far, at least in my mind, because I thought McKeesport, with Kevon Spell.
Well, maybe second biggest upset of the playoffs. We'll get to the other one before.
Not first.
Later.
I would put that at number 2. I would definitely put that at number 2. But, to your point, Carlo, I think next year, they do lose some key guys this year, but they got Kamon back last year. They'll have him back next year. And Javian Robinson's back, too. So, I wouldn't call them.
And Matty Miller's back, the quarterback.
And Matty Miller, yeah. So they should be pretty strong next year. But Quips on top again.
21 WPIAL championships for the Aliquippa Quips. They have done it again. And then in the 6A classification, who had it pegged? Pittsburgh Central Catholic against North Allegheny. Pretty much everybody, but these two had it pegged.
I will say this, had North Allegheny played like they did last round, they would not have moved on. From the opening kickoff, Central Catholic to the house. And it was almost game over right there. I think the difference this game was the special teams. Look at those Central Catholic uniforms. Those got to be some of the best uniforms in the entire WPIAL. But these guys just got after it, and I don't want to say NA really wasn't ready for the moment, but, they came out a little bit lackadaisical. Mm-hmm. Definitely not the NA Tigers team that I was aware of. Maybe they had PTSD being back at Pine Richland after what happened a couple weeks ago.
Those teams were meeting in the championship game for the 4th year in a row. And you talked about the start in that game. That's the second time in 3 years that Central Catholic returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Xavier Thomas did it a couple years ago, and this time it was Jaden Alexander. So complete effort by Central, all 3 phases. They were impressive. Yeah, and it was coming into that game, Central Catholic, a 1-game lead in the all-time series.
Oh, really?
Between the two teams, 17-16-1, now 18-16-1 for the Vikings of Pittsburgh Central Catholic. I see head coach Ryan Lehmeyer in the building. We'll get a chance to catch up with him in a little bit. But congratulations once again to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, your 2025 WPIAL 6A champions, getting it done in no doubt fashion.
And the cool part about Central Catholic is, they're healthy and firing on all cylinders. They have 3 running backs, Jaden Alexander, Roman Thompson, and Chris Black. This is the best running back trio in a long time in the WPIAL, and I believe they all come back next year. So it's going to be even deadlier for them next year. A lot of their offensive line comes back. People need to remember this Central Catholic team is really a junior-led team. Mm-hmm. Their quarterback is a sophomore. They bring back a lot of talent. They can get things done in the state this year. Oh boy, they got to be nationally ranked to start the season next year.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it with, when we get Ryan Lehmeyer up here. But the season that Roman Thompson has had, and he was outstanding in the championship game. He was just doing everything and just running the ball. And, his play on defense at linebacker, he's a leading tackler on that team. He's just been outstanding.
Again, congrats to Central Catholic. Get a chance to talk with them in a little bit. And we wanted to keep things a little bit on schedule from your regularly scheduled programming, WPIAL Insider, every week. So we still want to do some hot and not. And Carlo, you're the namesake of the show, so you can lead us off.
Yeah, so my hot, and this is a fun one. I'm glad to get to do this. The environment and atmosphere at the 4A championship game. Both McKeesport and Aliquippa came out. Mind you, this game was at noon. The Pitt game versus Notre Dame on College Game Day also at noon. So you want to talk about having a monster event to go up against. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it was 3 deep on defense at Pine Richland. Pine Richland was a great championship setting. I was a little bit curious how Pine was going to do it. Came out very, very pleasantly surprised, I'll say. They might have done a little bit better than Norwin, and I thought Norwin was great. But, yeah, my hot, the championship 4A atmosphere and the crowd, A+. My not, and I hate to say this, Farrell, the Steelers. Not in the WPIAL. Denied again for the second straight year. They are a 1A enrollment. They are bumped up to 2A because of the competitive balance formula. They would have stayed 2A next year. And let me tell you, 2A needed Farrell to come in next year just for some competitive balance in that bracket. You know, they applied for it, and within 24 hours they were denied. I wish...
I want to know the real story.
There's got to be something going on.
Because it just can't be simply we don't want you in, because you have teams that are far and away further out that have been
Indiana's way further out.
Yes.
Right. Right. And, I mean, they may be further out, but their nickname's the Steelers. I mean, like, that should do some stuff.
But the other thing is they have WPIAL history. They have WPIAL tradition. They have WPIAL championships. Yeah. I mean, this isn't like just some random team wanting to come in. This is a program in the state of PA. I think you have to bring it to the table and actually discuss it. I think to deny them within 24 hours, I don't think you got due justice. And I think if you polled all of the coaches in the WPIAL, I bet you everybody would want them in.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Yeah, I think having a good team in, you never can have too many of those. And unfortunately, not in the WPIAL. Brad, hot or not?
All right, my hot's going to be Deron Barksdale from Still Valley. He'll be playing in the 2A championship this weekend. He has been outstanding, leading rusher in Class 2A this season. And his nickname's Day Day, and he's had some great days this season. And especially recently, the last 4 games, listen to these stats. 871 yards, 16 touchdowns. That's in 4 games. That's in the last 4 games, including the playoffs, the big win against South Allegheny. He's trying to join his 2 brothers as a 2,000-yard rusher. He's only 40 yards away. His brother Donald is a 2,000-yard rusher, and Dwayne Murray is another brother of his, and he went over 2,000. He's the old-time leading rusher in Still Valley history. Yeah. So, I mean, that's
great
a great
lineage
family
of running backs there.
No doubt about that. So it'll be a big game from him. And my not's going to be the Fort Cherry Rangers. Unfortunately, a team that we were talking about here in the championship preview this time last year, and there won't be a three-peat for them.
The Cherry's no longer on top.
They're no longer. That's a good right there. Deuce Krasinski would have liked that. I think, right.
Did you come up with that on the spot? That was pretty good.
Thank you.
But so they weren't able to get it done this year, but still nothing to be ashamed about this team. How about the last 3 years? 41-3 Fort Cherry was. And they're not going to go away anytime soon. They got some talent coming up, including Colin Sigg, Matt's brother. Matt had the prolific career, second leading rusher in WPIAL history. Colin's in 8th grade. Watch out for him next year.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, I don't think Fort Cherry is going away anytime soon. The way that they talk about Colin Sigg, it has a funny feeling of the way that I think Tanner Gary's going to be around for a long time to come. All right, my hot is the team we were just talking about. Give it up for the 15001, Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. 21 WPIAL championships, and they just find a way in November to win football games. And it doesn't matter if they're the 1 seed, the 7 seed, the 8 seed. It doesn't matter. They win in the postseason, and it takes me back to something that Mike Smianik said back when he was the coach of Aliquippa. He said, when you have Aliquippa across your chest, you never are out of a game. You're never out of it. And it's just one of those things where, we've been talking about Terry Smith. He's an Aliquippa guy. Yeah. And, he gets his first win in the college football realm as a head coach. It just, no matter who you meet from this place, they're winners. They're able to find a way on and off the field to get it done. And just a tip of the hat of no one expected Aliquippa to do what they did this year. Mike Warfield's return, I mentioned, he's my unanimous pick for Coach of the Year, in my opinion.
I went back, all different media members, pick-em selections. There were 30 different media members that I went back on. 29 picked McKeesport to beat Aliquippa this week.
That just speaks to how much of an upset, a possibility this could have been.
Yeah.
All right, am I not? Carlo in the playoffs. 17 losses.
Wow.
He picked incorrectly 17 times in 3 weeks.
It took
me 5 weeks to pick 17 incorrect games. That's 2 weeks long. That's 20 more games that it took me to get there. And all season long, I had to hear about it being unsurmountable and that I would never catch up.
This is one of the all-time fumbles of all time. The lead and just.
And I told you then, I said, this is my Michael Jordan moment.
Yes.
And I took that personally. And just let me know if you'd like the cellar door open or closed.
I do remember Carlo getting a little cocky there at one time,
Yes.
thinking it was wrapped up.
I mean, I went from the regular season champion to cellar quickly. And last week I tried picking a couple upsets. Some coaches weren't happy at the upsets. I said, listen, I'm trying to make up games here, okay? I'm not necessarily agreeing with my own picks, but I need to make up games.
Peters Township appreciates the fact you picked up for St. Clair. I know that.
Yeah, they had some choice words for me. Imani had some choice words for me. I'll tell you who didn't. Western Beaver. I mean, I wish they would have showed up last week. I really needed that upset, and they could not pull through, unfortunately.
All right, Whippy time, Whippy Award time. We'll give out, as we do weekly, a weekly award that we make up, and that they get nothing actually handed to them, but they get the privilege of knowing that they have an award named after them.
I like that.
Or named for them.
A lot of bragging rights.
I'll go first because our recipient is in the house.
Ooh.
The first annual Fargo WPIAL Insider Award.
Ooh.
Whoa, this is big time.
Doing special here. I'm going quarterback from the Peters Township Indians, Nolan DeLucia is getting the Fargo Award this year.
We're gonna get him on an interview. You have a cash prize for him, I
Yes,
told.
because we were talking on KDKA radio the other day.
He's throwing the you down.
We were talking on KDKA radio the other day, and you posed the question of the 4 available semifinal 5A quarterbacks, who would you take?
And I took Nolan.
And you did not take Nolan.
I took Hellman.
You took Hellman.
I took Hellman, yeah.
Paul Alexander took Ubi Strader, and I took Nolan.
Yes, you did.
And so I am going to go with the Fargo WPIAL Insider Award to Nolan. So congratulations, Nolan. Check is in the mail. Of course, all up and up on NIL. We'll talk about it.
Of course, it's all compliance, all certified.
Right, yeah. Your Whippy.
My Whippy. And we've touched on this a little bit, but I just got to say the award name. It's the Get Grimy Award.
Ooh,
like the Mike Warfield from the 2023 championship run. He said, we got to get grimy. The all-time speech.
You can't buy this at Dick's.
Can't buy this at Dick's. There were some choice words in there, not safe for Tequila Cowboy in this environment, at least. But, legendary video that was posted on the timeline this week a couple different times. If I could just wake up and get that video as my alarm clock, my God, I would run through my wall out of bed.
I mean, that makes you want to run through a wall. Really.
It really does, and I can only imagine what they did this year. And I just did a little couple stats from the enrollment numbers. McKeesport, 421 males in their school compared to Aliquippa, 168, and it just fits in perfectly with that video. He said, Bishop McDevitt has 90 on the roster. We got 30. I'd rather be over here. It's time to get grimy. So the Get Grimy Award, Mike Warfield.
I love
and
that.
The
That's a good one.
That's great, man. Great name for that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, not as good as the Best Beaver Award, but, still pretty good.
That one will never be topped, I don't think.
No, that'll always be the best.
Yep.
Western Beaver is the best beaver, by the way.
Of 2025.
Yes, they are. They captured the title. My Whippy's going to be the biggest riser award, and that's going to go to Jay Timmons from Pine Richland, the standout wide receiver, defensive back. I talked to Jay this time last year for a championship preview. Might have been the first reporter to talk to him for an actual story. Wasn't a well-known guy. He was one of the top quarterbacks in the WPIAL, but wasn't a big recruit. Had one Power 4 offer at the time. Fast forward to earlier this week, and Jay Timmons was named a 5-star prospect and the #1 cornerback in the entire country. Talk about the rise of this kid. In a year, he goes from maybe kind of an unknown to the best cornerback in the entire country, Ohio State recruit. And what's crazy is, and I put this in my story last year, he almost didn't pursue football. Hockey Hockey was his sport growing
kidding
up.
me.
Yeah, hockey was it, and he played it up until about 4th grade. He tried out for the Penn's elite team, and he told his mom, if I make this team, I'm pursuing hockey. I'm not pursuing football. Didn't make the team, and he said he's glad he didn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
And maybe it's one of those, water always finds its level. If he did make the team, he'd probably go to the NHL and like that type of kid. But, yeah,
he seems like that kind of kid in terms of the head he has
the
on
fact,
his shoulders.
he was committed to Indiana, then Florida State, then Ohio State. Like, it just kept snowballing, including his recruitment. I mean, he was ranked initially, number 1,000 in the country, now number 26, I think.
And what's that say about Western Pennsylvania football, that we have the number 1 corner in the country and the number 1 running back in the country?
And Khalil Taylor's not too
far behind.
Not too far back either. I can imagine those practices between Khalil Taylor and Jay Timmons get live. I mean, it's one of those iron sharpens iron for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, there you go. There's our WPIAL Awards, and there's our first segment of this WPIAL Insider Championship Preview Edition. When we come back, we get a chance to talk with Tom Poljak of Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise, and Carlo gets a chance to talk about these championship games with Tom and, of course, our player and coach of the week. Stick around. We're live from Tequila Cowboy and live on X and YouTube. Stick around. More to come on this edition of the WPIAL Insider Show, presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. We'll be right back.
Some moments on the field go beyond the game. They shape who we become. At Home Team Collections, we honor those moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Because these moments aren't just memories, they're a legacy worth preserving. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
Back inside the WPIAL Insider Show, it's the live championship preview from Tequila Cowboy. This is all presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates, and of course our friends at Home Team Collections. Chad Reed does an unbelievable job with the jerseys. We needed a jersey right here. Would have we had it last year, Tom, for the live show. We actually had Tom here last year or Chad here last year for the live show, but we got Tom Poljak back from Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh. Tom, we had a great championship week, great semifinal week.
Well, before we get started, welcome back, you football freaks.
Yes.
Rumor has it you're a little upset with me that I didn't start the interview last week.
Things got a little crazy last week. Couldn't get you on. We get your interview, and there's no football freaks. I'm like, what the heck's going on here, Tom? So, yeah, welcome back, you football freaks. We have our coach and player of the week. And our player of the week, we'll start with that. Well, he's right here in front of us. It's, of course, Peters Township defensive end, tight end, Reston Lehman. I finally got you your defensive guy here, Tom.
You know what? It's about time. I've been asking for one all year long. And forget about the fact that he's a tight end, had over 100 yards receiving, scored a touchdown. I want to talk about his 3 sacks out of 9. and a forced.
And a forced fumble.
Yes.
And I was at the game last week, and let me tell you, I picked up for St. Clair last week. I knew I was in trouble. It was the first drive. They hit Hellman so hard, I said, oh, boy, I do not like my pick so much anymore. And it's just one of those, you hear that crack of the pads, and then I think it was in the first half he had that strip, and I was like, my God, these guys are flying around like they're coming out like bats out of hell. And it was an impressive win for Peters Township and taking down a rival, Upper St. Clair.
It was a little bit different than the game earlier in the year, which was a lot closer.
Yeah.
Mike Junko, great season, great team. It was that hit in the third quarter.
Yeah.
That he was concussed. He couldn't come back. Not out of the question at that time, 14-3. It was still a game.
Right.
But you could just – everything was deflated at that point.
And Peters didn't stop coming all night. I mean, it was loud and it was violent was my biggest thing. You don't see that a lot with high school football. And, you got to see it again the very next day with Aliquippa and McKeesport going at it. I mean, these pads were popping. It was just great to hear. Great to hear in Western Pennsylvania come playoff football. It's winter play basketball. And I do hear that Reston and a couple of his buddies do play some basketball for some St. Louis on some CYO team. And I wouldn't want to get underneath with one of those guys or banging around down there.
6'4", 250 or whatever he is.
No way. And I hear he had a little Michael Jordan flu game type of deal, Tom.
Yeah, but before we get to that, anytime your coach, TJ Plack, says you're our best running back, you're our best wide receiver, and you're our best quarterback, even though you don't play quarterback, you know you got a special talent there.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, he had strep throat and bronchitis earlier in the week. And that reminds me of, like, when you're a kid and you're like, Mom, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And you have to think, okay, TJ Plack is like, oh, my gosh, I need the heart and soul of our team back. And nothing made him happier than when he showed up on the field. And
a lot of throat lozenges last week.
TJ said, he had that great practice and he knew he had the edge. And, thank goodness for the team.
Yeah, and they, I won't get into my picks just yet. But they were impressive. Mr. Insider was taking notes last week. They were very impressive. Now, moving on to maybe the upset of the decade.
Yes.
And I don't think that's hyperbole saying that. The Laurel Spartans take down the Fort Cherry Rangers. Everybody, they didn't pencil in the championship. It was in ink. It was Fort Cherry versus Clarendon in 1A.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Laurel, not so fast, my friend.
Well, if you look at Matt Sig, over 150 yards, 67 yards on that first drive.
Yeah.
You would have thought maybe Laurel would say, okay. But they came out strong. They kept fighting. They bent. They didn't break.
Yep.
And that was a hard-fought battle, and it kept them out of the championship for the third year in a row.
Yeah, and Coach Brian Cooper is our Coach of the Week, if we have that on the graphic there. I mean, it was just a beautiful, beautiful graphic and well-deserved here, as everybody sees. Coach Brian Cooper, the nice frame that will be sent all the way up to Laurel, up near Newcastle. But, yeah, Laurel, they're a team to reckon with. And talking with some people around Fort Cherry, it was, hey, they had the better team that night. They had an excellent game plan. We couldn't stop them, and they could stop us. That's not a recipe for success.
And all year long, their defense only gave up about 8 points a game.
Yeah.
But the coolest thing, 1989 was the last time they appeared in a championship.
Yeah.
Who do you think that team was they played?
Well, that's got to be the Bears.
Absolutely. And the coolest thing that happened this entire week, 45 years ago, was the last time they won. And guess who they played?
The Bears again?
The Bears again. But the head coach at the time, George Miles, grandfather of Jack Miles, who just had 100 yards.
Jack
last
might
week.
be their best player. I mean, they got a plethora of players over there at Laurel, but Jack Miles, I mean, he comes from a football family, so that's got to be the coolest stat. So his grandfather was the last one to win.
And he's an assistant right now.
And he's an
team.
assistant still.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
So a lot of cool things happened.
Yeah.
They had a lot of senior leadership, and we talk about it all the time. When you're in single A, it's the hardest to coach. One injury could be the difference between losing and a winning season.
Yep.
Because you're losing two starters, like we talk about all
Right.
the time. So it's hard. he had these, a bunch of seniors that have been playing, starting for 3 years in a row, and it looks like this is their year.
Yeah, it very well might be. They get the test of Clarendon on Saturday in the WPIAL Championship. Tom Poljak from Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh, thanks for coming on the show.
One
to
quick
the live
shout
show.
out.
Yes.
Chad Reed.
Yep.
For helping us with those beautiful frames all year long. We do the art for it. He frames them and sends them out, and there it is.
Yeah, and we do have the player of the week as well. There's Reston. He looks great right there, all in HD. He will be getting that in the mail. I know Matt said.
I know these guys. That's personal.
Yeah, they look good right here. So congrats to Reston. Congrats to Coach Cooper. That is our player and coach of the week this week, and we'll see how it goes. We are going to head to break right now, and then we are going to come back with Central Catholic head coach Ryan Lehmeyer and Imani Christian head coach Leroy Johnson right after this.
And we welcome you back to Tequila Cowboy. It's the WPIAL Insider Show presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. And if you've been hurt in an accident, there's never a fee unless they get money for you at home. Welcome back to TC, where it is our WPIAL Insider Show. Our previews continue from Pittsburgh's North Shore. And very special guest Carlo went to go get some chicken fingers. He is back now, and our special guest now joining us.
And we are joined. Come on up here, Coach. Oh, yeah.
Come up
Either way. Yeah. Either way. You're good right over here.
There's a chair ready for you. Head coach.
WPIAL champ.
Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings, Ryan Lehmeyer.
Coach Lehmeyer, thanks for coming out.
Join us. Thank you.
Right, thanks, man.
Vikes in the building, and very fittingly rolled to a WPIAL 6A championship, 2 in a row for the Vikes. Ryan, thanks so much for stopping by.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. This is awesome. Appreciate what you guys do for our game, and especially the sport in the area. No one covers it like you guys, so hats off to you and the hard work you guys put in throughout the year.
Well, hats off to you for an incredible 2025 campaign. And is it harder in these years where the expectation level is what it was coming into this season for you guys, where this was where everyone didn't necessarily even pencil you in, they wrote it in permanent ink?
Well, I think, expectations are high, and I think that's something that, isn't going to go away at Central. But, like I tell the kids, I think when you feel the pressure, that's a privilege, and I think Ryan Day said it best. Are you even relevant if you don't feel that? And I think every week to know that you're in a ball game and you're going to get people's best punch, it brings the best out of us, and it brings the best out of our team to be challenged like that, as much as we've been challenged this year. And but I think it's good when expectations are high and we keep them there, and proud of the kids and their effort.
Coach, your offensive line group, it's still a little bit young. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't call it seasoned just yet. Maybe seasoned right now in mid-season, but when you guys started, it was a younger group. How have they grown throughout the year? And I'm not just talking height and weight here, even though we know that they are monsters. But you moved Halter in from tight end to offensive tackle. That had to take a little bit of time to gel. How have they been doing, and are they geared up for a run for the state here?
Yeah, well, I think, we brought back a lot of reps. But they played young. Now I think they're playing in different spots. Some of them. Jimmy and Johnny are right at home where they were. Matt moved in, obviously at center, and then Halter made that transition. In my opinion, there's nobody better to work with them than Tim Sasson, and the job that he does. And I think Tim's, just the intelligence and the temperament and the way that he has that room wired, it was going to come together.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest takeaways. We had a couple of your games early, and not to say that I thought that they were good early, but last Saturday in the WPIAL Championship, I was like, this offensive line is cooking right now.
Yeah, and I think, it is what it is. I mean, there's articles about, how big and tall they are and this, that, and the third, but that's a really hard position to evaluate week 0.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Because it takes the most continuity. It has the most moving parts.
And against a quality opponent.
Versus a quality opponent, and it was challenging. They weren't running day one stuff. I mean, it was hard. So I'm really proud of those kids in the way that they have added strain and sustain throughout the year. And like I said, Tim does a heck of a job with them, and it's the way they're wired. Those kids love football, so I think it's fun to coach them.
And Coach, I would say you have a nice gem of a quarterback, sophomore quarterback Owen Herrick. He throws easily the prettiest ball in the WPIAL. I mean, that thing is spinning. It looks good through the air. As a sophomore, how comfortable are you with him? Now, it was weather in the WPIAL Championships, and you guys kind of jumped out to a lead, so you really didn't need to rely on his arm, even though he is more than capable of doing that, only throwing 8 times. How do we match up moving forward, and does he feel comfortable now behind this offensive line? And, he has Maceo, he has all these different targets to throw to. How's he going to look as a sophomore in the state playoff?
I think as far as, feeling comfortable and everything, I think that's, he has – that we have a really, really strong group as far as, just tight-knitted people.
Yeah.
So I think he has a great relationship with those kids. I think he's done an awesome job winning his teammates over, and I think that's a hard thing to do in general, especially as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So I think, he's taken all the necessary steps, and, he's played well, and I think the one thing that we look for, at least I look for, and Ryan and everyone that really works with him, is we're looking for incremental growth every week. And I think if you've watched him from week 0 to now, he's made gains. He just has to continue to make plays, and I think he has to run the show. And I think, he throws the ball, and he's talented. He does a lot of physical things well. He needed to learn how to play the position.
And he can run a little bit, too. I think that's as the season progressed, he's much more comfortable stepping up in the pocket. And if he don't like what he sees, he just takes it and goes, and he's been deadly with his feet as well.
Yeah, he's been, he's had some good pocket presence, but I think anytime when you have these young guys playing that position, a lot of the times, when they're getting hung up on something, it's usually the first time they've seen something.
Right.
And, he's grown a lot every single week, so excited about him moving forward.
You have a lot of next-level guys on this team, a lot of talent. It seems like when we talk, the guy we always end up talking about is Roman Thompson, and just the season he's had, all around, leading tackler, one of the top touchdown guys in the WPIAL, one of the scoring leaders. But on top of his talent, I know we've talked about just his determination and desire and fire and leadership. Have you ever coached a guy quite like that? And where does he rank among the WPIAL's top players?
I've never coached someone like Roman. He's about as intense and ready to play at kickoff as probably anybody I've been around. I think it's you watch it, what he can do on the field, and obviously he's running the ball and tackling people and all that, but it's what he brings to our locker room. It's what he brings to our practice. I think anytime you're a captain, and you're an underclassman and you have a voice, and, when he speaks, people listen. So, I think just natural leadership qualities, but, he'll be the first to tell you that he's not a finished product, and it's he's grown a lot since he's been with us, and that hasn't all been comfortable for him or us. But getting him to this point, it's been really, really, really cool to watch him grow into the person he is now. And in my opinion, and again, I'm obviously biased, but he's the best player in 6A football here, in my opinion.
Yeah, he certainly makes the case for 6A Player of the Year. I was kind of leaning Tristan Tavares a little bit. They get bumped out early. going against my pick, so now I have to give it to Roman. He capitalized. Now, speaking of picks, do you guys use that as fuel when we pick against you? Do I have to pick against you guys in the state playoffs to light a fire, or is it just
It's to catch up, Coach. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, too many losses.
Carlo, I love when you pick against me. So just keep doing it. No.
hang it up on the bulletin board?
Yeah, no. I think it's awesome. I think what you guys do and create such a buzz with these kids and the games that goes on. I mean, you guys are doing an awesome job. So, no. However you pick us, I'm fortunate we're in the conversation.
I will say, I did say on the podcast one week, my 2 6A player of the years, I haven't decided yet. I'm down to Tristan Tavares and Roman Thompson. And it was for the Norwin game. And after the game, Roman came up and said, "Who's your 6A player of the year now?" I said, "Yeah, I'm leaning towards you, pal."
Just a lean, though. Just a lean.
Yeah, sounds like something he would say.
Yeah, but it was really cool that he's so invested.
Coach, what's this ride been like for you? I know you're still in the midst of a season, but the fact that you 3 years ago got to put on the CC, get hired as head coach, and now 3 seasons in, you guys fall short of the championship, losing in the title game, and now have won back-to-back. And maybe those first season, the outside noise that came with it, and now the win back-to-back. I mean, Central's only won 6 championships. It's the perennial power that is Pittsburgh Central Catholic is one thing, but actually bringing home gold doesn't happen every year like people may expect. Do you feel like you've already staked and made your claim on what is such a historic program and program in a prolific one?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I'm humbled to my core, man, every day. Like that I get to show up there and be the head coach and get to work with these kids. And, when I got the job, they said it to me in such a way where, these are the kids that are entrusted to your care. Those kids are unbelievable people to work with. And that was really what was so exciting about the job and being able to interview for it was the type of kids that are at Central and how hard you can push them. And that is all true. I think, like I said, it was a whirlwind early. I think, I was a first-time head coach at a program that had high expectations and they weren't going to waver. So I think trying to, find yourself, and I think I have a great group of guys that work with me. I absolutely wouldn't be sitting up here on this stage right now without those men. I mean, and I know every head coach you hear say that. It's about the staff, but it really is. I think, I got a close-knit group of guys that I trust that, are loyal to me. And I don't have the largest staff around. We pull ourselves thin at times, but I got the best guys, in my opinion, doing what they do. And I think, that's been my focus is the people, making the players first and then making the coaches and, try to make it as consistent as we can every day. And, I've been really fortunate to be here for 3 years. And, it's been a heck of a ride so far. But there's some benchmarks that, we kind of put out there for ourselves. And we've hit some of them. But, there's one we haven't hit. And, that's what we're chasing.
And I can say this as an alum there, proud is an understatement of what you've built at Central Catholic. You're doing it the right way. And you hit on it perfectly. Your staff is out of this world. They really are top-tier guys. And I come from Terry Todden, so I know how Tots did it. But, he's a little bit old school. Where I go to a practice.
They put the ball in the air a little bit more now.
Yeah, they put the ball in it a little bit. And practices are a little bit more structured. And we're not running inside run for 45 minutes of practice. No, I think giving you the keys to the program was absolutely the right decision. And,
I got 2 trophies to prove it now.
No doubt. And, at the time, if you remember, Rick Capretta, the athletic director, he went out on a limb. You never had head coach experience, correct, Ryan? And
no.
I mean, you look like a seasoned vet, so you really have dominated.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like I said, it is my staff, and you mentioned someone that's real important to me, and that's Terry. And I've been very fortunate and blessed to have worked for a lot of older guys that gave me a lot of responsibility, and I get to learn from some great people. Terry Totten, to still have him as a resource, and Jerry Schmidt and Rob Keys and Sean Lutz and all those people that have poured into me. Again, there's a lot of those guys in our program too. So, again, I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for all those people.
before we have to let you go, it's not often that a coach in 6A that's already into the state bracket has at least some interest in the 5A championship. Because if the Pine Richland Rams find their way to the state championship, they'll be joining Central Catholic next year in 6A. So when I asked with some Peters Township company in attendance, who are you interested in seeing who comes out victorious in that 5A championship? Putting you on the spot here, Coach.
You guys did your homework. Holy smokes, what a question. No, I think, and I'm going to answer this honestly. I hope, this is an awesome game. I have a ton of respect for John Ladon and Coach Black down at Peters, and I think you're going to see the best two teams in 5A. I was able to really sit down and watch Peters play last week. Obviously was out there with Pine Richland earlier in the year, and they said the cream rises to the top. Those three dudes at that table were pretty good, and Pine Richland got a handful. So it's going to be a heck of a game, and whatever happens, but a lot of respect for those programs and those players, and looking forward to it.
Perfect coach speak there.
Yeah, oh yeah. He towed that line perfectly.
No,
I threw that back at you.
I deserve it. Coach, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. And best of luck through the state tournament here.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Ryan Lehmeyer, the head coach of Pittsburgh Central Catholic, joins us. And when we come back, we break down 1 and 2A. And still to come, we get a chance to talk with some of the best players of Peters Township. We'll talk more about that 5A championship. That's all to come and more.
And Amani Christian.
And Amani Christian. The Saints came marching into Tequila Cowboy. Come marching back to our WPIAL Insider Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates.
Black Bear Fundraising, in partnership with Vertical Raise Donation Platform, is proud to sponsor the WPIAL Insider Show Player and Coach of the Week Award. For over 25 years, we've been helping teams and groups raise the funds they need. From our premium discount cards to the Vertical Raise online platform, we've helped hundreds of programs raise millions of dollars. And just this year, we worked with Peters Township Football, helping them raise over $55,000 for their program. If you're looking for the best fundraising solution in the tri-state area, reach out to us today. Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh, the official fundraising partners of the WPIAL Insider Show.
You spend your life on the field, in the gym, or on the court. You know what it means to be part of a team, to push for a goal, and to chase a win. What if you could take that same drive and turn it into a high-paying career? BMAC Logistics is looking for people just like you for their Beaver and North Shore Pittsburgh office locations. BMAC is a top 100 freight brokerage in the U.S., and they know what the best athletes make to make the best sales professionals. Why? Because you're already wired for success. You're competitive, you know how to work with a team, and you're not afraid of rolling up your sleeves and putting in that hard work to get the ultimate reward. At BMAC Logistics, you'll join a high-energy team as an inside sales representative. It doesn't matter if you're fresh out of high school, college, or already have some experience. BMAC Logistics will give you the training and the support you need to succeed. If you have that natural hunger to win, you could be earning a 6-figure salary within the first 15 to 18 months. Ready to take your competitive spirit to the next game, to the next rewarding career? Join the swarm at BMAC Logistics and apply today. Thanks for BMAC Logistics for sponsoring the WPIAL Insider Show.
Players, are you lacking confidence or feeling nervous when it's time to perform? Struggling to stay focused under pressure? Coaches, are you feeling overwhelmed and stressed? Battling decision fatigue as the season heats up? Does this sound like you? Don't leave your mental game to chance this season. At Edge 90, we've teamed up with WPIAL Insider this season to bring you mental skills training that will give you the edge when it counts. Whether you're a player looking to boost your confidence and composure, or a coach aiming to sharpen your team's mental resilience and deal with stress, they have the tools you need. Their services include team workshops, which will strengthen team culture and build a mental skill set together. One-on-one training, that's personalized sessions to elevate your mental game. They even have virtual courses. Convenient training you can access anytime, anywhere. Use my promo code Mr. Insider for 10% off any service. Visit edge90.com to learn more and follow them on social media at VT_edge90. They have free tips. Ask Vince any question you want on social media. Don't just play the game, prepare. Hit that follow button. That's at VTD_edge90.
And we'll welcome you back inside the WPIAL Insider Show. We're going to, now that we got the three of us on mic, it's presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, where there's never a fee unless they get money for you. Call 1-800-94-EDGAR today if you've been hurt or injured in an accident for your free consultation. Back with Carlos Zofko, Brad Everett. I am Matt Fargo from Tequila Cowboy on Pittsburgh's North Shore, where 8 teams will converge on Acrisure Stadium on Saturday for the 2025 WPIAL UPMC Football Championships, and we'll break them all down. And we start with breakfast at the AC. 1A as the Laurel Spartans 12-1 take on the 12-1 Clarendon Bears. Clarendon, the number 2 seed, advanced with wins against Monessen, Jeanette, and Bishop Canavan. And the Laurel Spartans took care of Jefferson Morgan, Chartiers Houston, and Fort Cherry en route to their championship game appearance. Their third in history. Ironically, it will be now their third against Clarendon.
What are the chances of that?
They have played Clarendon twice in WPIAL championships and have won one, have lost one. Their last win going back to 1980, their only WPIAL championship in 1980. They beat the Clarendon Bears. Kind of ironic with all of this connection between these two teams, and it even gets even more interesting. I mentioned on the show last week that the team Tyler Boyd lost to his first year, his freshman year, the first game of the regular season. The only game he ever lost in high school was to the Laurel Spartans before they rallied off and won 4 WPIALs and 4 state titles since then. But, you know, don't tell the Laurel Spartans that this group is every bit of an underdog, Brad.
Yeah, first off, that's a great factoid there, Mr. Fargo.
Yeah,
man,
well,
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that first game was the only one they lost all that time. Laurel, that was it. But yeah, both teams 12-1. Tradition, you know, a little bit different, as you mentioned. Laurel, their only title in 1980, whereas Clarendon going for title number 15. Only Aliquippa has won more titles than their 14. And, yeah, Clarendon versus Laurel, just like we all predicted, right? Laurel beating Fort Cherry, that was the upset of the playoffs right there.
Yes.
I thought the McKeesport over Aliquippa, that was an upset, but Laurel beating Fort Cherry, the 2-time defending champs. Yeah, we did not have that. Nobody had that.
And the fact that Laurel's only loss comes to Bishop Canavan,
right,
who Fort Cherry took care of. And really, that game wasn't very close.
Right, and that was the team actually that Clarendon took care of too, 42-22.
Yeah,
so, you know, that's a common opponent right there. But it'll be interesting this game. Clarendon in their defense, and you know, Laurel has some top seniors that have been making plays. So this will be a good one.
I'm very interested to what the Laurel Spartan linebacking core will do. You have number 10, Jack Miles, number 21, Jackson McVicker, and number 24, Colton Carlson. McVicker is a sophomore. The other 2 are seniors. Those are 3 bad dudes going in the middle. Very tough to get yards on, and especially for a single-A program, I mean, it's going to be tough to run on them. Fort Cherry, you know, talking to some people around the program, they said straight up they bullied us. They had schemes, they had stunts that we hadn't seen. They game planned well, and we couldn't move the ball. If we could throw it, we probably would be in a little bit better of a situation. The good news for Clarendon, Jeff Thompson, an all-conference quarterback, and he can
throw it this year.
He can throw it this year, thankfully. You know, Tariq Wooding, Michael Ruffing, Dante Wright, Brandon Murphy make plays all over the passing game, as you see in all these beautiful highlights. They're going to need to have a big game. I think that's where Clarendon has the advantage. Dion Lovelace Pompey, as we see here, one of the better runners in the WPIAL as well. There's a lot of star power in this 1A game. I tried bringing this up earlier in the year that Laurel, hey, they got some dudes. They let me down against Bishop Canavan, but holy smokes, we are back.
absolutely have some dudes. And you mentioned Jack Miles, and there's a lot of miles on this team, both to get to the championship and on the sidelines. The grandson is Jack. His grandfather, George, now 78 years old, he's an assistant coach on the team. He was the head coach of Laurel when they played back in 1989, the last time Laurel was in a championship. They lost to Clarendon. The quarterback of that team for the Clarendon Bears, Wayne Wade.
You're kidding me.
How about that?
You're kidding me.
Man, these connections
So
are crazy.
these connections between these two teams,
they run deep.
This is almost better than the rubber match between Fort Cherry and Clarendon.
Yeah.
And you're talking about George, who's an assistant coach still. His sons, Casey and Ryan, are assistant coach. Ryan is the dad, the father of Jack, the running back and linebacker. So it is all in the family affair when it comes to the Laurel Spartans.
And yeah, they have some star power. And I'll tell you this, Luca Santini, the quarterback, got an arm. And Colton Carlson, he can run under the ball. I mean, this Laurel team, my hair is very, very worried.
What's the interesting – oh, yeah, we got to talk about the fact that Carlo offered up to shave his head if anyone other than Clarendon or Fort Cherry didn't win the championship. Carlo's hair is on the line this game. The luscious locks.
Look at it.
See,
the hairline's not moving back. It looks wonderful.
See,
we're going to move it back for you.
I think his plan was to actually get his nipples pierced, but that's been done before, so he went to the shaved head. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
He said no one's. He said no one's touching these nipples.
Yeah, no one's touching the nipples. Fair game.
Last note on the single A game: Clarendon's defense, 9 consecutive shutouts this season. They didn't allow a point from August 22nd until November 7th. Didn't allow a point.
All of a sudden, though, the last two games,
55.
All of a sudden,
the Clippers are coming out.
Yeah,
There was probably a time this season where Laurel was like, how would we score on this team?
Right.
But now it's like, okay, we have some confidence
there's
there.
blood in the water.
There's a little bit.
So,
all right. But watch out for Colton Carlson, like you said. That's a guy to watch out. One of only 2 guys in the WPIAL with over 600 yards receiving and rushing. Something
to keep an eye out for sure in that matchup. Then we go to the second matchup, 2A championship game. Features the Seton LaSalle Rebels at 11-1 against the Steel Valley Ironmen. Get to the semis and then advance. So the way it broke down, Seton LaSalle, they took care of Mohawk and Washington. Their only loss to North Catholic early on in the season. And Steel Valley has won 5 straight, including wins over Elwood City and Western Beaver. The Carlos Zofco Golden Beavers go down at the hands of the Ironmen. And I think one of these teams we expected to be in the championship, and it's despite 2 of their best players got shipped away very late in the offseason. And really, Tim Storina, got to give a tip of the cap on what he's been able to do to lose the players and the caliber of players that he lost and still find his way to the championship.
Last May or last June, if you would have spoken about Seton LaSalle, it would have been they're the heavy favorite to win the title in 2A. But they lose those transfers like Khalil Taylor, a couple other all-conference guys. Anthony Smith, the star quarterback from Southmoreland, tries transferring in but is ruled ineligible, so he transfers to another school. But they were able to pull it together. I talked to Tim Storino the other day. He said it was not an enjoyable experience there that time in August and seeing all these guys leave. Because not only are you losing star players, but you're also losing these relationships that you have built with these guys. And all of a sudden, those change pretty heavily. But I think the big thing in this game is the running back matchup. The top 2 rushers in Class 2A, Deron Barksdale, talked about him a little bit from Still Valley, and Kymar Freeman from Seton LaSalle, breakout year as a sophomore. Interesting thing about that, he's questionable for this game. Injured his ankle in the semifinal win. Tim Storino sounded confident like he would play. He said they need him on Saturday, and that'll be a great matchup.
I was at the Upper St. Clair Peters game. Saw Reston Lehman knock around Upper St. Clair all over the place. Then I shipped over for the second half of the Seton LaSalle and Wash High game, and Kymar did get injured. He was walking kind of nice on it at the end of the game, but make no mistake, Seton LaSalle was punched in the mouth 2 or 3 times last week and bounced back, which, if you remember last year in the playoffs, They were just rolling through everybody, and then the first time that adversity hit against South Park, they didn't have an answer. So they had they were down multiple possessions against Wash High.
Was that in the official injury report? Did it say walking kind of nice?
He was kind of nice,
Okay.
you know. He wasn't grimacing.
I'm not really sure.
He wasn't grimacing. It was like, hey, it looks okay. But the key here is that these linebackers, Sean LaSalle, that's Will Martin, DeAndre Hill, Elijah Hickman, they have to stop this guy, Deron Barksdale. He scored 13 of the last 16 touchdowns for Steel Valley, over 650 yards the last 3 games. He's all that in a bag of potato chips. He's going to Pitt next year, but he's trying to win at Acrisure early before he enrolls at Pitt. It's going to be interesting to see LaSalle, a ton of sophomores starting. Kai Jones, the quarterback, Kymar Freeman, as we said, Matthew Bronzitsky, even a couple on the line. There's a right tackle, Raymond Piagesi. He's a monster sophomore, probably will be a FBS type of recruit. Can these sophomores dominate Steel Valley? I can't wait to see.
It's going to be really interesting. Arguably, the best player that is playing right now in terms of scoring in the postseason, Deron Barksdale, I mean, he is pulling this team with him. You mentioned
it's impressive.
13 of 16 touchdowns in the last 3 games is insanity.
But it's not unprecedented. All he has to look to is his brother. I mean, Donald Barksdale was doing the same thing the last couple of years.
And that is the question of then, do they get to the championship and then they're too one-dimensional? Do they have another element? Do they have something else to combat or complement the Barksdale running attack that has not been slowed down to this point?
That's an excellent point there, Matt. Eventually, they're going to have to put the ball in the air. You know, Steve LaSalle complemented their run game. You know, when Kymar goes out, what do? They put Will Martin at Wildcat. And Will Martin is tough to bring down. This game is going to be a tough blue-collar game in Western Pennsylvania. People are sleeping on 2A. Mr. Insider not sleeping on 2A. This is going to be a fun one.
Looking forward to that. I have this call on television with the Steel Valley Ironman himself, Charlie Batch.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. He's not going to be biased.
Not at all. not at all.
I'm actually making my sideline debut for this game for KDKA Radio. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, Tim Storino, friend of the show, you know, I might interview him at halftime, ask him some gotcha questions right before he gets into the locker room. Coach, you coming out with an onside kick?
I'm sure he'll give you an honest answer.
I'm really looking forward to Carlo's sideline debut. But should be a great one in 2A. When we come back, we get a chance to chat with the Peters Township Indians, some of the players that have made their way here to Tequila Cowboy to talk about their matchup with Pine Richland, a rubber match between the Rams and the Indians. We'll get a chance to talk with them. Then we'll preview the remaining games on Saturday, 3A and 5A, and we still get a chance to chat with some Amani Saints that are also in the house. A lot more still to come here on the WPIAL Insider Championship Preview Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. It continues live from Tequila Cowboy after this.
Some moments on the field go beyond the game. They shape who we become. At Home Team Collections, we honor those moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Because these moments aren't just memories, they're a legacy worth preserving. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
gentlemen, welcome you back inside Tequila Cowboy live on Pittsburgh's North Shore to our WPIAL Insider Championship preview show. Back with the man for the Pittsburgh Union Progress, Brad Everett, the WPIAL Insider himself, Carlo Zofko, and from the Peters Township Indians, PT in the building. We have Nolan DeLucia, Lucas Shenefeld, and Reston Lehman all joining us here live at Tequila Cowboy. Happy to have PT football in the building. Gentlemen, first of all, I have to thank you for coming because when I put out the invite, sometimes I don't think that I'm going to get the answer back. But Nolan, thanks for answering.
Yeah, we were a little bit sour. You didn't pick us this week, but we had to prove you wrong.
You did, and you know what? I like to think you proved Carlo wrong.
Yeah, I think it was more so just putting the egg on my face.
Because for the record, I picked you guys in the regular season this year, and I was right. Carlo has picked Upper St. Clair both times and was wrong both times.
I can be bribed with about $50 worth of apparel, and Upper St. Clair did that. So.
Just to let you know about Carlo's picks, he's missed 17 games in the playoffs, 17 wrong games.
We were 5-5 last week.
Yeah,
it was not a good week.
Well, I'm not feeling too intelligent right now. I don't know what the combined GPA is between all of you guys.
A lot of smart kids
we got
over
some
here.
Smart guys.
They're all like graduating early, so they got to be smart.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in summer school, more times than I'd like to
We got
admit.
guys going to Villanova, Stanford, Pitt. I mean, 3 prestigious academic institutions here.
But the grade A that you guys all want to get this week is at Acrisure Stadium and taking home another gold in football.
Yes,
what has this season been like? I mean, you guys are one of 3 programs in the WPIAL to this point that haven't lost a game this year. That's so hard to do. You guys know what it takes to get to this point in the season. What has this ride been like this time around?
It's just been us leading. I mean, with our seniors, we all been leading each other so much, pushing each other to be great. It's been rough. I mean, the off seasons aren't easy at Peters Township. We work hard. I'm with them at the fields every single weekend. We work hard, and sour we lost last year, so we want to get back there and make a statement. It's going to be a great game. They're a great team, and this season was very long, but it's our last year to make an impact in the WPIAL, so got to keep working hard.
Nolan, now, just you position specific.
Yes, sir.
The quarterback, it's the great WPIAL debate. Who's the number 1 quarterback in 5A? Is it Aaron Strader? Is it Nolan DeLucia? And you guys get a rubber match. You don't this never happens at WPIAL. Has that been on the mind, or is it just no business? Hey, we're playing Pine. It's not me versus Aaron.
I mean, there's always stuff going through your mind about anything, but I love Gooby. He's a good kid. I know him from 7-on-7s, and we went to camps together. But it's fun. I mean, we're going to battle against each other. We're going to show out for our teams. But I know I got my team's back, and they got mine, so we're just going to fight and just try to get the win. That's all I care about.
Now, you guys played one of your biggest rivals, Upper St. Clair, in the regular season. You guys rallied late to win that game. You get a rematch last week, and you guys win 31-6 in that game. How did things change? What was the difference between that first meeting and the second meeting?
I got it, yeah. I would just say that we came into that game hearing that, last year we lost them originally and then beat them in the playoffs, and we just didn't want that to be the same case, just flipped. So we definitely came in that game wanting to make a statement, and I think we did that.
Mm-hmm. You guys have played a lot of good teams this year. Who's the best player that you guys have played this year? Is there one guy that kind of sticks out? I know you'll get a couple big-time guys on Saturday, but up until this point, who's the best player you played?
We've played a bunch of great players.
Yeah, we have played a lot of really good players.
Hellman's really good.
Yeah.
David Dennison's really good. Mm-hmm. We wish we played against Keemon because we know how good he is. So it would have been good to play against him, but we got him last year. I'm
going to give it to David Dennison.
David Dennison, Javian Robinson, all really good players.
Okay. David Dennison needs to get some looks.
Yeah, he does.
You guys
He's
feel
really
that way?
good.
I do, yeah.
You know what? You guys play. We talked about this conference at nauseum all season long, and for good reason, because it is so strong top to bottom every week. It kind of feels like the AFC North in a lot of ways. You got to come and bring your A game every Friday. Do you feel more battle-tested than a Pine team that really has not played many teams throughout the course of the year? And then they go up against a Moon team last week that challenged them in a lot of ways. And Moon took care of Upper St. Clair earlier this year, a team that you guys really were able to handle. So Do you feel more battle-tested playing in the conference that you do?
Yeah, I think we definitely do. I feel like we face a lot of diversity this season from week 0 on. So I feel like we're really prepared and we have each other's backs and we can play a fourth quarter game and be really good in one. So I like our chances going into this weekend, and I think we can battle to the end of the game.
When you guys were walking into the locker room last week after doing what you did up for St. Clair, were you guys kind of pulling for Moon there, like kind of hoping to get the phone update? Hey, it's Moon or Pine Richland. I mean, you both are, I would consider, rivals. Pine Richland is third straight year. You're playing a Moon, a conference rival. Yeah. Was there any of that going on? Like were you kind of pulling for the Moon upset there?
I mean, a little bit, but
Allegheny 6, very, very tough conference.
Yeah, no, our conference is super good, so that's why we've played a lot of good competition because our conference is so good. It would have been cool to see Moon again, but we also had that loss from last year to Pine Richland, so we also want to play both of them. So we were ready for both of them. We prepared the same way with our coaches, and we'll put a great game scheme together for this weekend.
We have 3 kids from the WPIAL that are going to be playing in the championship Saturday that are Pitt recruits. Of course, we have Deron Barksdale from Still Valley, John Curran from Pine Richland, and Reston Lehman. You'll be going to Pitt also. Yeah. I just want to ask you, do you have a text thread with the other Pitt recruits? Yeah. And are you guys working on Matt Sig to bring him to Pitt?
Yeah, I was just texting Matt actually. No, but yeah, we have a big commit group chat. But yeah, we've been recruiting Matt. A lot of us have been talking to him, John especially, Lincoln Hoke, and myself. And Barksdale's definitely done his job, but hoping to get him in the next couple weeks.
Gotcha. No, that's always fun. And, you guys being a part of now 3 years of getting to the championship game, know what it feels like to win one, but now to do it senior year. It has to have so much more meaningful, and to know that this is the last ride for you.
It means a lot. I mean, we've been playing since we were 5 or 6 years old together, the senior class. So getting to this point, getting to play at Acrisure Stadium as a kid, this is one of your dreams. We got to play last year and we did not get the outcome we wanted. So we just got to work hard all week. I mean, every time we've been talking to our team, it's just keep doing what you can do, control what you can control, and be 1-0 every single day. Because if we can get better every single day, we have a good shot at this. So it's going to be a great game. They're a great team. But since I was a little kid, I've always dreamed of being in a moment like this. So I know they have too. And doing it together makes it more special for me.
I didn't think about this. You guys, especially this group here, you guys are unique in that you have played both at Norwin, the neutral, and now Acrisure. What is the difference? Do you care? I think just in my mind, you got to play at Acrisure for a championship game. Do you guys agree with that, or how was it at Norwin? Because you guys actually hoisted the trophy at Norwin.
I got it. I mean, I like Norwin. I played at Norwin, but obviously you want to play at Acrisure. That's what we all dreamed of. So we all wanted as well.
It is that much of a difference, though, because there are some people, especially head coaches, who do not love Acrisure. They'd rather prefer Norwin just because of the logistics. But from a player's perspective, it is without a doubt Acrisure, correct?
For the most part, yeah.
It's cool, yeah. I like the noon game. When we played at noon at Norwin, that was pretty cool. You had the rest of your day after, so
celebrate.
It was for a good relax, and yeah, we got a welcome home from the whole community, so that was cool.
And you guys broke the fence at Norwin. If you remember, your student section broke the fence.
Our student section who won.
They won my $500. Yeah, I don't know who I Venmo'd that to, but I hope they spent it well.
Yeah, I think they split it up with the leaders and stuff, and I don't know how they spent it, but
hopefully with you guys after the game.
Yeah. That does pose a little bit of a difference of you're playing for a championship, and now you have an opportunity to go out there and play one. However, at Acrisure, you get maybe 20 minutes. Your routine is thrown off in a big way in comparison to every other game you've played all season long.
Yeah, the warm-up's different. We go out, and then we come right back, and then we go straight back out. Usually I would do my defensive stuff, then offensive stuff, but I can't, so I just do straight offense. It's different, but, I mean, they're going through the same thing over at Pine Richland, so in every other team, so you can't complain. You can't make excuses. You just got to play your game and control what you can control. But I wish we could have our 4-1 because I like it. And then I like our breakdown in the middle. I think we can still do that, which that's my favorite part.
I'm curious. This one's for all three of you guys because this is a big deal. Peters Township was the doormat of high school football for much of the people that have covered it for the better part of 30, 40 years.
I think I used to get in against Peters Township.
And that's all you
no
need
offense,
to know.
fellas.
That's all you need to know. But now you guys have put PT on the map. It used to be known as a soccer school and exclusively a soccer school. Maybe you give volleyball in there some love as well. You guys have put PT in a really unique position now to not only win their first ever WPIAL championship, which you guys were a part of, but now to get back to the championship for a third year and not just do that, but now expand on it and get an opportunity to lay this legacy out for so much longer. I mean, you guys probably don't even realize what's happening and how 30 years from now they're going to bring back the team from 2 years ago. They're going to bring back this year's team as champions. They're going to bring you guys back and celebrate you guys. I mean, do you realize what's it like walking through the hallways and being Peters Township football every Monday through Friday?
No, yeah, we take pride in wearing our jerseys on Friday for sure. Even the younger kids, they take pride in it. But we got to give props to our coaches. Coach Black and the rest of our coaches are great. I mean, they set a standard for us. And then our youth coaches, when we were younger, kind of had us fall in love with the game, which kind of made us all grind and work through middle school and into high school, and that's where our successes came from. But there was a standard kind of set before us with McMillan and Casilli. And then our sophomore year, we had a great senior class that kind of led us and set a standard for us to live up to. And I feel like we've done pretty well with that. But now we need to set a standard for the younger guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. Our community as well, like they show up to our games, support us so much. Even outside of games, like we're trying to get meals for the team or stuff like that. There's local businesses reaching out, wanting to do that. So we just love and support everyone who just keeps showing out for us. I mean, it means so much. It just shows you keep working hard, people got your back. Not even your teammates, your family, friends, and just local community.
Now, I just had to ask you guys, I heard you, I don't know who was all on it, but you guys were on the KDKA show earlier this year on a Thursday with Carla was one of the people on it. Yeah. And you guys broke the story about going to Mickey Vaccarella's hot tub. Now, I have to ask you guys about this. Like, is this only for football players? If certain media members pick you guys and you guys win the championship, do we have an invitation or what's going on there?
We go take.
He gets the pin pad.
Yeah, we would take an ice bath and go in the hot tub there. Me and him go to my house now because I have a hot tub at my house, so we go there usually before games. So yeah, no, you're welcome. Not them, but you're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's fair. Yeah, we deserve that. We deserve that.
And you also mentioned Donovan McMillan. You know, I think he was the first Peters guy ever to make the NFL. How much, that's your guys' goal is to make it to the top league one day. To see another Peters kid do it, does that kind of make the dream a little bit more, kind of like a little bit more realistic?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. I mean, he's still around. He still checks in on us. So just having that guy helps us believe in ourselves and just sets the standard for us. It's been great.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, best of luck on Saturday. Some of us will be cheering for you. Some of us will not be. We'll have to find out who we pick. But Rest, you do the morning announcements, right? So you want to take us out to break? We'll put you on the spot. You going to toss us out to break? We don't got anything, so you're just staying
on the Johnny on the spot.
WPIAL Insider Show. We'll be back after this
WPIAL Insider Show. Thank you so much for watching. On to the next segment soon.
Right after.
Awesome. Great job. Great job.
He's a pro. He doesn't need football anymore.
And we'll welcome you back inside the WPIAL Insider Show, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. WPIAL Championship preview continues live from Tequila Cowboy, thanks to the Peters Township Indians. And now we welcome in the Amani Christian Academy Saints are now in the building. Please welcome Leroy Johnson, head coach, and Devin Johnson and Will Gorman also joining us here at TC. Coach, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations to this point. And now you lock in for what is trying to be Amani Christian's first WPIAL football championship.
Yeah, definitely excited to finally have the opportunity to get back to the championship game. We were here in 17 and, fell a point short, and looking forward to trying to finish it this time. We've been working our butt off. We definitely been started since the summertime and just been grinding, and we put it together. We felt like we came close last year and put it together, and we just came up a little bit short last year. So having an opportunity to play against the team that beat you, only makes for great press and good opportunities. So we look forward to both.
So you kind of ripped the Band-Aid there off yourself. So this is the team that beat you in the semifinals last year. It was a super close game. A call goes Avonworth's way. Was that kind of on the bulletin board all offseason? Like, hey, we got to get over the Avonworth hump here. And what's it going to be like as you see them across the field? And, just like you guys, they have been dominating everybody in 3A. It's been a collision course for quite some time.
I would say it was just it's not about necessarily the other team. It's more about every year us going out and trying to do what we want to do, which is every time we line up, we want to win the game. We want to score more points than the other team. We want to try to score every time we can. We want to try to make sure every single time we go out there, we don't let you score. So we're trying to dominate the best we can. So it's not necessarily about an Avonworth thing, but it's just more about having the team that took something away from us, and you get a chance to see them across the field. It's as real as life. If someone took something from you and you had a chance to see them and they're wearing it around, wouldn't you want to? I just feel like as a man, you would want to say something to them and maybe take your things back. That's kind of how we feel. We feel like they took our ball and they went down the street with it. So. We want to kind of, we want to let you know you're not allowed to take our ball no more. So, we look forward to the challenge, and I know those men are well coached over there. So we look forward to the challenge. I'm sure they do too.
Guys have been, outstanding all season, but Avonworth, just want to ask you two guys up here. Avonworth's been getting most of the press. They beat you guys last year in the playoffs, and they're undefeated. And they have some big wins because not only the 3A wins, but they beat Thomas Jefferson and they beat Aliquippa, which I think really opened a lot of eyes. Now, you guys being the number 2 team, maybe not getting as much publicity, is that kind of maybe like a chip on your shoulder? And do you kind of use that as fuel maybe as you go into this game?
Yeah, you always use everything you can as fuel. They're a great team, so they deserve all the love that they're getting. But I think that we worked hard. We worked hard long enough that, we deserve this, and we're going to take it.
Like Will said, they're a great team. So, everything that they do, we can't really, look too bad on. That's it.
Gotcha.
Now, Devon, one of the things that I always do, and maybe this is just a me problem, I always say Avonworth's offensive line and defensive line, they are the best in the trenches in the WPIAL. Imani, I say you guys have a great pass rush. Do you guys kind of use that as a chip on your shoulder? It's like, hey, we got to step up this game because we know Gabe and David are gonna roll in the back, but it's almost, is it that offensive line mentality? Like, hey, this thing's on us here.
Yeah, the mentality on our offensive line is fire off hard and effort every single play, and everything will come.
What was it like last week? I did pick Central Valley last week, and that thing was done in about the first quarter. The thing was done in about the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you did.
There's two people that did it.
Is that were you guys kind of expecting that? Because I think even the people that thought you guys were going to win, that was a dominant statement win. Do you guys feel like you're peaking at the right time, firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, we're starting to play more together now. Everyone believes in each other, and we play our role to the maximum effort that we can. And if we play like that every week, I don't think nobody can stop us.
What was the toughest game so far this season for you guys? He's just referencing the Central Valley game. That can be the one that was most difficult. What was the toughest one that through this part of the season?
Toughest game, I would probably say Clarion.
I had a feeling.
And we got the highlights rolling right now for the Clarion game. That was a fun one too.
That Clarion game was some fun. It was, I'm sitting there on the sideline and I'm watching it, and I'm just watching two great teams, and I mean we are getting it on. I mean there is some pads popping. I mean it felt so good to just be able to play a game and get it on and really be able to block and tackle and hit and not have to necessarily worry about. It's like different when you get a chance to play against. I don't know why it's different, but when you play against those style of teams, they allow you to play football a little bit and just play and whatever kind of happens in the game kind of happens. So I truly enjoy just having an opportunity to be in that type of atmosphere. It just felt really good to play in that game.
A tip of the cap to you for willing to play the game, because as a 3A team going down and playing a single A team, there's not a whole lot to gain because you're expected to win as being a higher classification. There's a whole lot to lose if you do.
Yep.
And the quality of opponent, we all know what Clarendon is and where they are. They're playing across the street.
They were playing a couple hours before you.
Right. So I mean that's a testament to what you guys aren't afraid to play anybody.
Yeah, no, we're not going to run away from an opportunity like that. It was a great event and great reason, why, to play the game with them opening up that beautiful stadium and the momentum they had. So it made fitting for an opponent like us to come in and if you know me, I'm not going to run away from a good opportunity. To try to. If you want to open up something on us, I'm going to gladly.
You returning the favor next week? Are you inviting them to Wilkinsburg?
I'm always going to gladly show up if you're having some type of festivity game or some type of anything like that. That's going to get me going.
With the boot strapped and tied up.
Yeah. You're going to get me going every single time. So that happened to appeal to me.
Just had to ask you guys back here. You guys played some really talented teams this year, some good opponents. Is there a team that wasn't on your schedule that you wish you would have played this year? I don't know if you have some boys from another team or if there is a team that just really struck out to you, like you would have loved to give a chance against.
Well, us as a team, we always want to play the best. So whoever's at the top, we want to play them. We want the biggest challenge we can get. It's always a good opportunity to go against other Division I guys, other people that are supposed to be better than you, because you can really prove what you're made of and how hard you've been working. So any kind of top team, Pine Richland, teams like that, it's going to be a great opportunity to play Evanworth and really show what we can do as a team.
Can I give you guys an insight?
We were. That's the insider show. That's
right.
why we're
so
going.
Before we were even thinking about who we were going to play week 0, we were looking at Massillon.
Oh, wow. That would have been a fun one.
Yeah,
that would have been at Massillon?
Yeah, it would have been at Massillon.
Awesome,
he reached. The coach reached out, and we were just like, man, like I would love to play. We were like, man, how can we? We were counting up our numbers. Like, do we have enough? Like,
because they're
sure?
the highest classification.
Yeah, they're the highest. So for us, we're like, man, we might only have 20 people. Like, we don't know exactly how many we're going to have. So it was just like sorry, coach, but we just don't know how many we're going to have. And then it was between that, it went Massillon, and then it was Imhotep.
That would have been a fun one too.
Yeah, same way. It was just. It was numbers a little bit. We were not sure about where my number is always like a 30 number, and we were like right underneath that. We were like at 25, 24.
That's a big difference.
Going into so for us, something. If we would have had like 30 or more, then we probably would have played one of those two.
Do you enjoy scheduling the week 0s within the WPIAL, or would you rather go out of state? I think it's cooler to get the different classifications. Because for me on the WPIAL Inside Show, it just builds hype around the WPIAL. But is there something to playing an out-of-state team?
I think when you have the opportunity to take that game, and the way we look at it is, you got two options with it. Either you can try to pad a win, or you can actually accept the challenge and go and try to and go and have your team challenged at a game. So. For us, we wanted to have an opportunity. I think that ultimately it's you would like to see more games around the way, like more like, hey, let's cross over Central with Penn Hills or something like that. I think it's going to bring more, bring more fans, bring more notoriety and marketing, and be able to do some things with it. And that ultimately is what I would like to see. I mean, I'm all about competition, but I think when you're in your backyard, to brew more excitement to the game, when you have a game like a Clareton versus Monty game, where people want to see that type of crossover
legitimate
matchup.
electricity.
Oh my God, you could feel it. You could feel it from when we walked in. It was just an electric atmosphere that I think both teams really enjoy. Obviously, we probably enjoyed it a little more because we won, but I know that they're. I mean, from looking at them, I mean I feel like it was a win-win for both teams because they've gone on to be absolutely dominant, and we've gone on to do what we've done. I just felt like when you look back at that game set both teams up for what we wanted. Ultimately, either way, somebody was going to lose, but
the building blocks of the season.
Right. The building blocks of the season kind of were built right there.
On that note, you're one of 3 teams left in the WPIAL that is undefeated at this point. We just talked to one of them in Peters Township, you guys, and then the third is, of course, the team you'll play in the championship. Yeah. Talk about how difficult that it is to be undefeated, to get to this point, and then maybe the pressure that is on knowing that, to steal the Mike Tomlinism of, winning is deodorant, sometimes losing, you find out what you need to do to tweak something. Neither of these teams know what that feeling feels like to this point.
Yeah. I would say last year it was probably really difficult, like last year, because it was the first time we had did it, and we were young as a team, and we were just going through it all and trying to deal with the pressures of it. I think this year a little easier because we've done it, and it was just like, hey, we just got to get back to this point and get it right from here, kind of thing. And it's not like we didn't put the work in. We sacrificed. We ran. We did everything in the process that it takes to get to this point. So, and we knew kind of like, hey, we just got to repeat this again, and be ready for these basically the last 2 weeks. If these last 2 weeks kind of go right and we kind of get it together, that we could make this kind of run. So I don't think that the undefeated season was as difficult this year than it was last year. It was just maybe having a few more people on the team and them being new to the process, and us, the older guys like these gentlemen, kind of explaining to the young guys kind of how everything goes when they're new to it.
Yeah, I just had to ask you, Leroy. It was a couple weeks ago you accompanied David Davis down to North Carolina for a visit down there. I saw your picture. You had a picture that was there on Twitter of you and Bill Belichick, the North Carolina coach. Yeah. Now, I know you know a lot of big-time coaches, so that's nothing new to you, but what was that experience like, and is he pretty much what we all see on TV all the time?
Yeah, Bill's absolutely great. He's got that like dry Seinfeld humor kind of going on, and I tell people, my claim to fame is I made him laugh twice.
There you go.
Like he doesn't, and his laugh is a very bit. He said, he gets right back into like he's not,
right back
into being Bill, but he oozes knowledge. I learned in a 5-minute conversation, he taught me 3 things that just like blew my mind on coverage, on how he teaches coverage, on when he wants to blitz the corners. Like it was just like in just 5 minutes, it was just he just had me, and I had to ask him about the first question I asked him, if anybody wants to know, I asked him about the 7 DBs that versus when he played against the Rams. Like what were you thinking when you played against Marshall Faulk? I had to know, like, what was because the Rams were my team at the time, and he just spoiled everything, and I just needed to know, like, what was the reason why you decided to line up a safety at linebacker, like, and that, because at that time that was unheard of. So just to hear him, talk, and he can go in such deep, depths in why he does stuff. But it was just an amazing conversation, and the one I won't forget.
No, did you see his girlfriend Jordan anywhere? Was she around?
That was going to be my question. That was going to be my question.
That's the most amazing thing. That's exactly what my dad asked me. He was like, I went through the whole spiel with him. He was like, yeah, that's nice. So did you see the girlfriend?
She was practicing her cheerleading competition.
I said, nah, they didn't let me get to her, so I didn't get a chance to see her. we kept it all good. But, yeah, Bill's an amazing guy. And, yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for stopping out. Guys, thanks so much for stopping out.
Guys.
Best of luck on Saturday, and best of luck to the Saints on bringing it home for the first time in school history. Huh?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Shout out to my mom, Marianne Johnson, and Earl. I love you. Thank you.
Coach Leroy Johnson, the Amani Christian Saints, in the building tonight in our WPIAL Insider Championship preview show. When we come back, we will talk more about this game. It is the Saints and the Antelopes. Can the Antelopes come back and win another one, or will be the Saints for the first time? And we'll preview the 5A, and still, back half of the show, we'll have our picks for all of these classifications and the state playoff bracket. Stick around. WPIAL Insider Championship preview show continues right after this break.
Some moments on the field go beyond the game. They shape who we become. At Home Team Collections, we honor those moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Because these moments aren't just memories, they're a legacy worth preserving. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
And we welcome you back here to Tequila Cowboy. We're shifting. We had a line shift.
We had a lot of big guys up here.
Yeah,
We had a defensive lineman from Peters, offensive lineman from Amani.
Well,
some big fellas.
Big fellas, and the fellas back here now as we're ready to break down 3A and 5A. And, in getting the chance to talk to Amani Christian and see them against Clarendon, which I think is their best matchup this season, honestly, in terms of quality of opponent and then what they're capable of. And they've only been able to get better. I think that's the other key.
Yeah, they haven't really been tested since that Clarendon game. I know Freeport gave them a game for a quick minute and then not so much anymore. But, they've already been – Clarendon went ahead of them. So they were battle-tested right from the start of the season. Yeah. Now, that Clarendon game was a long time ago. On the flip side, Avonworth has just steamrolled through everybody, including Aliquippa, including Thomas Jefferson. So it's going to be interesting to see how this 3A game goes. I don't know, fellas. This one, I think, of all the games, is the biggest coin flip, believe it or not. And, last year, this was Avonworth's toughest game. And, was there a call that went Avonworth's way late? I would say yes. I tweeted about it on Insider. I thought Deshaun Burnett got held blitzing through the A-gap on that major fourth down. Sometimes the refs don't call it. Yep. Maybe they get a call this year. Maybe the ball bounces their way this year. The key to the game, I think, is Imani Christian's defensive line. We had Will Gorman here. I think he has to wreck Carson Bellinger's night. That's going to be the key here. I'm excited to see what he does.
Let's take a look at this bracket when it comes down to this 3A classification. You see there the Avonworth Antelopes, number 1 seed, defending champions. They taking down Freeport after the bye. And then, of course, Cardinal, or beg your pardon, old habits die hard there. North Catholic. Wow,
I forgot
bring
the
it back.
Cardinal
Yeah,
World
right.
tag was
Wow.
on there for a couple of years.
CWNC there for a while. And then Amani Christian, the 2 seed, 12-0, and they taking care of Hopewell and Central Valley after getting the bye. Both of these teams unblemished. And, Amani, I think a little bit of a harder road to get to this point, but it certainly didn't look like that, Brad.
Yeah, they had some tough games. I mean, a lot of these games they rolled over their opponents. Of course, the Clareton one was their only loss, but I watched a good bit of their game against North Catholic, and that was at Imani, and North Catholic punched them early on, and that was I think they were out to like a 16-0 lead early in that game, and I'm like, man, they really might beat Imani in this game. And all of a sudden, Imani just turned it on. And I don't think they gave up a point the rest of the game, and they scored like 40. And they just have all those playmakers. We talk about David Davis. We were talking about Coach Johnson with him. David Davis, Gabe Jenkins, both national recruits, and a lot of other guys, a lot of other playmakers, even all the way down to the freshman class. Tyvon Sewell is like one of the top freshmen in the WPIAL. He's had a great year. And Imani, second time in the championship, but first time playing at Acrisure. Their previous appearance, they played out at Joe Walton Stadium out of Robert Morris. And they lost to Poogie Kennedy and that Jeanette team.
Jeanette
I think by one point. I think it was
Jeanette
like
won the state that year.
It was a great game out there. But now they finally get to play down at Acrisure, and I'm sure those kids are pumped up.
And the other big thing for Amani, we're watching the Clarendon highlights. This is back from week 0. They really hadn't solidified. They were playing with the quarterback position for a while. They didn't know if they wanted Gabe taking snaps.
Leroy Johnson said on KDK Radio earlier this year they ran 4 different plays against Clarendon. He said, no, that was legitimately 4 plays.
Yes. And so, I think that now that they've been able to find themselves and find a method that wins, is certainly going to be a tall task for Duke John Core and the Antelopes. And it is the reversal of the other side is Amani's going to get everything they can handle too.
There's so many playmakers in this game. We talk about the Imani guys and, of course, Luca Neal and Carson Bellinger and Dimitri Belisaris and all these guys. But these two teams are both kind of fueled by their defenses. The 2 best defenses in that class, the Imani Christian's number 1. They got the best defense, one of the best in the entire WPIAL, and Avonworth's number 2. So, I don't know which way this game's going to go. I don't know if it's going to be a game in the 20s, 30s, 40s, or if it's going to be like a defensive struggle, maybe like a 10-7 game or something like that.
Does any team play like with more confidence? As you see Jaden Jones here, the super sophomore, he's going to have to play like a senior to get by Amani here. I think both of these teams play with the most confidence in the WPIAL. I mean, they fly around, make plays all over the field, specifically, as Brad pointed out, on the defensive side. I think this is a match made in heaven. Carson Bellinger, if you guys remember last year, wasn't really throwing the ball in the playoffs. He's throwing it in the playoffs now, and I think he's going to need a big game here for the Lopes to get the victory.
Yeah, and you talk about what Avonworth has really been able. They haven't really been tested much at all this year. Talking about Amani not being tested, but Avonworth has come through. I mean, a gauntlet of a schedule. You beat Thomas Jefferson.
It's the toughest
you beat Aliquippa,
schedule in 3A.
And they beat the 2 teams
beat them all.
in 4A, that 2 of the 4 teams that were in the semifinals in the classification above them. It's just, you beat the 4A champs. We've been saying it all year long that Avonworth could win 4A. Well, that was proven with Aliquippa, who won 4A.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some talk that, there was a lot of people that felt that if Avonworth was in 4A, they could win 4A.
Bill Chirpak, one of them.
Yeah, Bill Chirpak being one of them, a great TJ coach. So I don't know if that would happen. Maybe it would have happened. But they definitely deserve to be in that 3A championship. Duke John Core's done done a great job there. Just like Leroy Johnson's done in Imani, too.
Avonworth trying for their 3rd title. They would try to go back-to-back. They won, of course, last year. Looking for their 4th title overall. They have 3. One last year, one in 2019, and one in 1959.
Ooh. Wow.
And, of course, we mentioned Amani Christian has never won a WPIAL championship. And, of course, the one matchup of undefeateds, pitting undefeateds against each other.
And that's the coolest part about the game. I think, that, as you said, there's only 3 teams left in the WPIAL undefeated, and 2 of them right here, 3A.
All right, let's move ahead to 5A, the nightcap at Acrisure. The Pine Richland Rams, 11-1, take on the undefeated 12-0 Peters Township Indians. This one, rubber match in the title game. These two teams have met now 3 times consecutively for the championship. Peters Township won their first ever 2 seasons ago. Then it was Pine Richland getting revenge a season ago. And now we get this rubber match with PT and PR. Pine Richland, the number 1 seed, their only loss going back to Central Catholic in late October. They've won 10 straight since then. They beat Shaler and Moon, as you see in the playoff bracket. Peters Township, on the other side, they took care of Bethel Park and Upper St. Clair. 2 Allegheny 6 conference game to get in. They have to beat 2 teams twice to get in the championship game, and here they are, Peters Township, PR. Boy, is this one going to be a good one, Carlo.
All of a sudden, Pine Richland looked human last week against Moon. I'm starting to get worried for my Rams here. Jay Timmons and Khalil Taylor need to make big plays against the quarterback that we just had on, Nolan DeLucia. This is a match made in heaven, and I would like to point out 2 totally different styles of football. I feel like Peters Township, they have awesome tight ends, tough running backs, physical receivers. Lucas Ross is a great receiver, but he's physical as heck. Where I feel like Pine Richland, they beat you with speed, they beat you with finesse. 2 styles clashing, and it's a rubber match of the last 3 years. Who's going to come out on top? I'm not exactly sure, but I'll tell you what. The matchup of the century is going to be James Spratt, Peters Township middle linebacker, versus McLean Miller, Pine Richland's running back. Who gets the better of the 2, I think might decide the game, fellas.
Yeah, this is going to be a big-time battle right here. And it's kind of unstoppable force against immovable object. And that would be the Pine Richland offense going up against the Peters defense. Number 1 offense in the class, Pine Richland has 47.6 per game. Peters Township, they only give up 6.9 points per game this season. They've been outstanding on that side of the ball. And so many high-level kids in that game. I think Pine Richland has maybe one of the best collection of playmakers that we've seen in the WPIAL for a long time. You're talking about a Power 4 quarterback in Ubi Strader. He hasn't signed or committed anywhere yet, but that looks like he has a pretty good chance of going there. And then Jay Timmons and Khalil Taylor, who we talk about all the time, to have like 2 5- and 4-star recruits out there on the perimeter. And, the Peters Township DBs, they better eat their Wheaties pretty good that morning, because that's going to be a big-time test.
I think a key to this game is, Pine Richland's left tackle, Burnett. He's another Power 4 kid. He's a junior or sophomore, I believe, 6'6", has all the measurables, great on tape as well, breaks his foot. All of a sudden, you have Reston Lehman on the other side, Lucas Shanafeld on the other side. You have to make Ubi Strader's night a nightmare, is what you have to do. Yeah. Because if you give him time to throw downfield, Taylor and Timmons, oh boy, they will get open. They are too fast. They will get open. They might get open on Saturdays if Notre Dame was playing Pitt again. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these guys, but I think the key to this game is that Peters Township linebackers and defensive line.
Yeah, I think this game is won and lost between the hash marks.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about the offensive and defensive lines of these teams or the ability to use Peters Township's ability to use the tight ends. They have really done a really nice job of expanding their offense. They weren't tight end happy a season ago, and I think TJ Black's done a really nice job of using his available players to their highest potential and kind of letting Nolan DeLucia expand what he's capable of doing, because I think he was more of a game manager a season ago, and now he's a field general. He can take over a game and where he delivers the ball.
Yeah, he's definitely in the conversation for best quarterbacks in the WPIAL, the Villanova recruit. I think I agree with you, Carlo, on that, in that, it's maybe not the high-flying offenses that are going to take, the center stage. It's how Peters Township defense fares. Do they get a pass rush?
Oh, yeah.
Do they get a pass rush against Obi Strader? And the one problem is, even if they do get a pass rush, he's athletic enough to scramble around and to make plays with his legs. So, but then you have people like Shanafelt and Lehman chasing after him, which is fun to watch. Which they have some wheels.
Very fast closing speed. They got very fast closing speed. I will say another matchup I'm looking forward to. Tyler Hayes, Pine Richland's tight end. All conference tight end. He's going to probably need to stay in and block a little bit with the offensive line a little bit banged up. He can certainly run up the seam, though, but I think him against Shanafelt and Lehman, too, just chipping how he's going to read and react will be a lot of fun as well. This is a fun one, gentlemen. I mean, you can keep name dropping forever. I mean, Peter, we haven't even brought up Cole Newpaver, and he's one of the hardest hitting running backs in the WPIL. I mean, when he's running the rock, I feel bad for the linebackers. He's running them over. He's a big lacrosse guy. But lacrosse, he gets a stick. This one, he just gets a shoulder pad.
Break the tie, Brad. Who would you pick between Ubi Strader and Nolan DeLucia if you had your pick? We had it between the 4 quarterbacks in the semifinals, but who would you pick between these 2 really stellar field generals?
I'm going to take the cop-out answer here, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know at about 11 o'clock on Saturday, and I'll give you the choice on that. You know, I don't want to say quite yet. I need to see him in person one more time.
We're going to cut your hair next.
Just don't pierce my nipples. That's all. Yeah, just don't do that.
Well, when we come back, it's the moment everybody's been waiting for. Really, they're all standing and applauding now whether or not we are going to pick their team. Who will win the WPIL 2025 championships? Our picks on the back half of this break. It's a WPIAL Insider Show presented to you by Edgar Snyder & Associates, live from Tequila Cowboy, and our picks coming up next.
Black Bear Fundraising, in partnership with Vertical Raise Donation Platform, is proud to sponsor the WPIAL Insider Show Player and Coach of the Week Award. For over 25 years, we've been helping teams and groups raise the funds they need. From our premium discount cards to the Vertical Raise online platform, we've helped hundreds of programs raise millions of dollars. And just this year, we worked with Peters Township Football, helping them raise over $55,000 for their program. If you're looking for the best fundraising solution in the tri-state area, reach out to us today. Black Bear Fundraising and Vertical Raise Pittsburgh, the official fundraising partners of the WPIL Insider Show.
You spend your life on the field, in the gym, or on the court. You know what it means to be part of a team, to push for a goal, and to chase a win. What if you could take that same drive and turn it into a high-paying career? BMAC Logistics is looking for people just like you for their Beaver and North Shore Pittsburgh office locations. BMAC is a top 100 freight brokerage in the U.S., and they know what the best athletes make to make the best sales professionals. Why? Because you're already wired for success. You're competitive, you know how to work with a team, and you're not afraid of rolling up your sleeves and putting in that hard work to get the ultimate reward. At BMAC Logistics, you'll join a high-energy team as an inside sales representative. It doesn't matter if you're fresh out of high school, college, or already have some experience. BMAC Logistics will give you the training and the support you need to succeed. If you have that natural hunger to win, you could be earning a 6-figure salary within the first 15 to 18 months. Ready to take your competitive spirit to the next game, to the next rewarding career? Join the swarm at BMAC Logistics and apply today. Thanks for BMAC Logistics for sponsoring the WPIAL Insider Show.
Players, are you lacking confidence or feeling nervous when it's time to perform? Struggling to stay focused under pressure? Coaches, are you feeling overwhelmed and stressed? Battling decision fatigue as the season heats up? Does this sound like you? Don't leave your mental game to chance this season. At Edge 90, we've teamed up with WPIAL Insider this season to bring you mental skills training that will give you the edge when it counts. Whether you're a player looking to boost your confidence and composure, or a coach aiming to sharpen your team's mental resilience and deal with stress, they have the tools you need. Their services include team workshops, which will strengthen team culture and build a mental skill set together. One-on-one training, that's personalized sessions to elevate your mental game. They even have virtual courses. Convenient training you can access anytime, anywhere. Use my promo code Mr. Insider for 10% off any service. Visit edge90.com to learn more and follow them on social media at VT_Edge90. They have free tips. Ask Vince any question you want on social media. Don't just play the game, prepare. Hit that follow button. That's at VTD_Edge90.
And we are back inside Tequila Cowboy and inside the WPIAL Insider Championship Preview Show. Back with the WPIAL Insider himself, Carlos Zofko from the Pittsburgh Union Progress. Brad Everett, I am just Matt Fargo. Happy to bring you our championship coverage. It is going to be a full day on Saturday right here on Pittsburgh's North Shore. 4 games, 8 teams walk in, 4 will walk out. WPIAL champions. It is one of my favorite days of the calendar, and excited to see, I think, this year, in going back a couple of years, I think this is some of the best 4 matchups that we've had, and the storylines and what you could talk about. There's so much.
Every single game has a legitimate talking point, one way or the other. 1A, Laurel, the only history they have is with Clarendon in the championship. 2A, the Paris Ford Bowl, of course.
Yeah.
3A, the
Paris Ford Bowl. That is fantastic.
It's
I didn't think of that. Yeah, the Paris
Ford
Ford Bowl.
I gotta sneak that in.
He needs to do the coin flip, I think.
And then his other school, Central Catholic, they won the
Yeah,
championship.
they're in the
so
championship.
He was at Central for a little bit.
3A, the battle of the 2
Yeah.
undefeateds, and 5A, it's the rubber match between Pine and Peters. I mean, what more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for? Well, you're going to get a lot of coverage from Brad Everett. What games are you covering, Brad?
I will be covering the 2A game and the 5A game.
2 and 5, so you got Brad for 2 games. You have me for darn near all of them in one form or fashion between radio and television. We'll go over that here in a minute. And a lot of Carlos Zofko as well on the radio side, huh?
Yeah, radio side. I'm making my sideline debut for the 2A game, Seton LaSalle versus Steel Valley. Very excited for that. But all the other games, I'm either doing the halftime or post-game show. So, yeah, you'll be hearing a lot of my voice on KDK Radio 100.1.
Well, it all starts in 1A at 11 o'clock. Breakfast at Acrisure. The 12-1 Clarendon Bears take it on the 12-1 Laurel Spartans. And it is time. Pick'em is time. Oh, wait, we got to do standings.
Yes, we do.
We got to do standings.
Yes, we do.
You normally tell me that.
I was ready to take your paper away
Oh,
from
we
me.
have standings.
I don't
Let's
like
take
this
a look.
segment at all.
I love this
I don't like.
there's a
Unbelievable!
Oh, my goodness.
Where do you
Look at
guys
that
even
photo.
get this from?
Look at that photo.
Unbelievable!
What team is that on that hat?
That's
is
the Dukes.
That
Oh,
is
that is the Dukes.
my 18-year-old Duquesne Dukes.
Wow.
And then Matt has his 2 times. This is ridiculous.
man.
How dare you guys?
Man.
Oh, man. That
So,
is beautiful.
To
That
review
is
this,
beautiful.
Brad is in the lead, 121-33. He was 46-9 in the playoffs. I just a game back in the postseason. I made up a ton of ground. And there's that Emmy Award winning. They call me
Who picked Matt's photo?
This
is ridiculous.
Matt must have been in charge for this. That's the only thing I can think of. That's outrageous.
They say your pictures are better in newspapers than Bradley. 118, and then Carlos in the cellar. No chance but to tie me for second.
Here's my problem with this pick'em in the playoffs. I get so enamored with like the Tri-County Souths of the world, and I'm like, I think they can do it, and I talk myself into these ridiculous upsets, and then it just blows up right in my face, and then you have coaches texting you at halftime, I can't believe you actually picked this, and I get it, regular season champ. We have things to build on next year.
Can we see it one more time? Thanks.
My goodness. That, I mean.
I was 2
There's
games
nothing
up
better
on
than
Brad, and I'm 7 games back after 3 weeks.
I just love the one. Look at the comparison here. This is a good.
That's back. That's
look
back in the
into that camera. Give him a good shot there. Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
close.
about 60 pounds ago.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe a little bit more than that.
And that's probably in the days of early WPIAL Insider right there.
That was actually. I know exactly where that game was. That was the first game of the week. Duquesne versus Old Dominion. That was my first picture with Duquesne. I said, I'm going to take a selfie up here against the Monarchs. Taylor Heineke was the QB. That was actually about 6 weeks before I started WPIAL Insider.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, so that picture predates Insider.
That's pretty good. All right, let's get into the picks. Laurel 12-1 against 12-1 Clarendon. The Bears, can they win number 15 against the Spartans? Brad, because you are in the lead, you get to pick first in all of these.
Oh.
To see how
I don't know if I like that because then you guys
or not. Yes,
yeah.
it's giving us a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
No,
3-game lead for me, 4 games back. Carlo is of
I'm
me.
7 from Brad.
7 from Brad, so no chance at a Carlo Zofco championship. But it's between me and you, brother.
Yeah, I'm not going to, show any arrogance here and, guarantee a win, this week or anything like that.
You know what? May the best man win here.
Thank you very much.
Respect you,
Thank you
Brad.
very much.
This guy.
So, we have Clareton going for title number 15 here in this game. And I think as long as that defense gets back to its old ways, we talked about all the shutouts, then 55 points the last 2 weeks. As long as they do that, I think they get it. Jeff Thompson is a huge thing to have him back healthy in this game. I think that passing attack's going to be huge. And I think Clareton just has too many athletes overall for Laurel to, for them to contend with, pretty much for any team to really contend with. There's so many athletes on that team. And I think Clareton puts up a pretty nice, healthy number offensively. And I think the Bears win another title.
I am enamored with the Laurel Spartans and what they were going and what they have done. And I really like Miles. I was impressed with what I saw them do to Fort Cherry a week ago. And my biggest reason is I so badly want to see Carlo dye his hair. Give me the Laurel Spartans. Please give me the Spartans.
This guy's losing ground. To give me the Bears all day long. The Bears are going to spread them out. Jeff Thompson might throw for 250 yards, 4 touchdowns. This is going to be a Bear. You don't want to go into the Bears den. This is going to be a slaughter. These Bears, they get grimy. They're like Aliquippa. Give me Clarendon. Give me Clarendon big. 28 points.
You can watch this game on KDKA Plus, the Pittsburgh Steelers broadcasting all 4 of the games. And this one on KDKA Radio as well, the flagship home of the WPIAL. I'll have the call. Me with Coach Lee.
Oh, that's fun.
And, Donnie Football down to the sidelines. Looking forward to having the call of that one. Let's go to 2A. The afternoon 2 p.m. kickoff between Seton LaSalle and Steel Valley. The Rebels, the Ironmen, the Fighting Charlie Batches against the Rebels, who are just looking for that championship. Seton LaSalle has won 5 titles, their last coming all the way back in 2004.
Woo.
And, of course, Steel Valley has also won 6. Well, they've won 6 titles, and their most recent coming back in 2022.
I think this is the biggest toss-up game of these championships. I think you had mentioned another one, Carlo, and I was close on that one, but this one I think is the biggest one. I don't know which. I had a hard time figuring this out, but 2 great running backs. I think that running back matchup, assuming Kymar Freeman's good to go against Deron Barksdale, that's going to be outstanding. And it's really going to be one in the trenches. Both teams, big veteran lines. Seton LaSalle has 3 starters who started on the line in last year's championship game. Still Valley returned 4 starters from last year. How about Still Valley? Holton Lavishak, 6'4", 340 on the line, and Dylan Smith, 6'3", 310. So they got some hogs on that line there for Still Valley. And I think Barksdale, I think he has the biggest game. He started his career with a WPIAL title as a freshman, and I think he ends it too as a senior with the title, Still Valley.
Wow.
You know, I agree with you, Brad. I think this is the biggest toss-up game. So much of so, which I just decided I was going to pick whoever you did.
He's going opposite.
I'm
He's going for the championship.
LaSalle. I'm going with the Rebels. Tim Storino. He showed up to our pregame show last year. He lost. He didn't show up this year. He's going to win. Give me the Rebels in a thriller.
I think this one is going to be a thriller. I love my Seton LaSalle Rebels here. Give me Will Martin. I will say the baddest cat in all of the WPIAL championships is Mr. Barksdale. They're going to have their hands full, but I think Seton LaSalle has one too many playmakers. Give me the Rebels.
I love it, Carlo. I love it. I don't love being with you on a pick, but I love the.
Yeah, it was 5-5 last week. 50% chance.
See, like I don't think this is quite fair because you guys are picking opposite of me.
Correct.
But then if you're wrong, you can say, well, I would have picked so-and-so, but I wanted to pick the opposite of Brad.
Exactly what I did last week. Yes.
Actually, this is a pretty good veteran move on your part, actually. Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I didn't circle anything this week, Brad. I'm going to be honest with you.
Right.
And I didn't circle anything. Oh, the 2A game, you can watch that on the KDKA Plus. Steelers broadcast, myself, Charlie Batch, Susie Cool down on the sidelines, getting back the old band a little bit back together. You're on sideline for that
I'm
game.
on sideline
so
for KDKA Radio.
Awesome stuff. And stream it for free on the free Odyssey app. Brad, you were breaking down that game as well. And we'll break down the 3A game now. Picks for Avonworth, 12-0. Amani Christian, 12-0. The battle of undefeateds. We just broke down this game. Brad, who's your pick?
Has Avonworth been the most impressive team in the WPIAL this year? I mean, I tend to think
so.
They are. I'm not saying they're the best overall or anything like that, but the wins that they've had and how they've done it, and the players, I mean, they've just been ultra impressive this year. Gabe Jenkins is a big star that doesn't get talked about enough. I don't think. He's been outstanding quarterback, but he's rushed for over 1,000 yards. He's passed for over 1,000 yards as well. I think some of these Avonworth dudes, though, man, like Luca Neal, I think he's going to come up big again. And I think Dimitri Velisaris, he's been running the ball so well, a lot of big numbers. And I think he's going to be the difference in a game filled with playmakers. I think this is going to be maybe a high-scoring game. I couldn't figure out low or high score. I'm going to say high-scoring, and I think the Lopes repeat as champions.
All right, so
is Matt going to do it?
I think he is.
I love Louis Armstrong, and he has a hit song. You ever hear it? When the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. The WPIAL champs in Class 3A are the Amani Christian Saints. Give me the Saints.
Oh, I love it.
And I had to do that because you've sung, and now I've sung.
Now he's sung. Yeah, we've all sung on the WPIAL.
I like it
Insider
too,
Show.
man. Like I'm going to give it at least a 7.5, I think, right there. Yeah, not bad.
Thanks.
I'm right there with you, Matt. I love the Saints. I wasn't sure who I was going to pick after talking to the Saints here. I'm all in on these guys. I think Leroy Johnson gets it done. I think we're kind of brewing a little bit of a rivalry between Imani and Avonworth. Second straight year, they're up against each other late into the year. I think the Saints get them this year. A call went against them last year. I think the ball bounces their way. It's just statistics. Some years you're up here, some years it's down there. Now they flip. Give me the Saints.
All right. Yeah, and you can watch the game KDKA Plus or on KDKA Radio and the NFHS Network as well. We go to the nightcap. 5A, Pine Richland, Peters Township, 8 p.m.-ish kickoff. You can, again, watch this game at KDKA Plus. It's Bob Pompiani and Mike White.
That's going to be a fun
on
one.
the call. And
Two legends.
Yeah, Cassidy Wood on the sidelines for
nice.
KDKA TV. I'll be on the sidelines for KDKA Radio, so keep the sideline warm for me, will you? And this is going to be a good one. Pine Richland 11-1, 12-0 Peters Township. The rubber match once again at Acrisure. Brad.
Get your popcorn ready. These teams, this is the big one this weekend. Everyone's going to watch this, whether you're at home or in person for it. But two powers. We talked a lot about the quarterback matchup, Ubi Strader and Nolan DeLucia. How's that going to play out? Teams know each other so well. And I really think, the key to this game is going to be how Peters gets to the quarterback. Are they able to get to Ubi Strader? If they do get to them, are they going to, is he going to be able to make big plays with his legs? We're going to have to see that. But I think Pine, I just have a hard time going against a team that has Khalil Taylor and Jay Timmons on the perimeter. Because if Ubi has time, what do you do against them? I don't know how you defend them. I'm sure Peters is going to find a way, and I'm sure TJ Plack's going to have that team ready. That team's veteran. That team's, they've been through the wars, and they've been through them with Pine Richland. But I think Pine wins. Those playmakers are the difference there. And, make sure you check out this game in the Pittsburgh Union Progress. Last game that we cover, and then we're all shutting down after that. We're going back to the Post-Gazette on Monday.
Back to the
following a 3-year strike, finally over. And, we're heading back on Monday, I hope. Yeah.
That is great stuff, and congrats, Brad. That's awesome stuff, and exciting to see your byline in the PG once again very soon. Man, this game's awesome. The players, we broke it down. Great coaching matchup, and two coaches, by the way, that did it the hard way. people forget Coach John Ladon was at Shaler. They were not very good his first time. Then he went to Penn Hills, was able to build things, create a culture. Then he came over to Pine Richland and has given them championship pedigree once again, dating back to the Claire Ultimus days.
Oh, wow. Good name there.
And then Peters Township has done the same thing. TJ Plack has done the same thing. He was at South Fayette, mid-20s as a head coach, was laying the foundation there, was able to create now what he has done at Peters Township. I love this coaching matchup. That being said, there's one team that has been more tested. There's one team that has gone through the gauntlet of 5A. There's another team that has not. And there's a team that played one of those conference opponents just a week ago and didn't convince me. They weren't the 6-7 team of North Allegheny. Give me the Peters Township Indians to beat Pine Richland in the 5A final.
Wow. Who am I going to put on the island here? This is going to be a fun one, as you guys have said. It's just a shame, gentlemen, that for 3 years Brad has been writing for the PUP, the Pittsburgh Union Progress. In his final game, he is going to be incorrect.
Oh.
Give me Peters Township. You think I'm going to go against the guys that were just here?
No.
They looked like they were ready to eat me. They were so mad that I picked against them. I can't do it again. I mean, those are some big cats, man. I'm all in on Peters Township. Give me the hard-hitting, give me the grimy Peters Township Indians. Let's go.
And it's interesting. There are our picks for the championship, and it's interesting because the way Carlo picked, he guaranteed that he will not beat me, will not get into second.
No, because I picked Clarendon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wait, no.
Yeah, you're 4 games back.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was never.
So
it was
we
insurmountable.
Can officially,
it was
we do
insurmountable.
not. We did. Well, it was 4 games, so you could have tied me, and we could have shared last place.
That was not happening.
But congratulations. It's either me or you, Brad. Officially, we can hand Carlo last place. So congratulations.
He is
to
the weakest link. He's the weakest link.
He is the outside insider for sure. Last thing for you guys before I let everybody go. Best championship memory going back to WPIAL. You've covered it for over 20 years now, Brad. Your best championship memory.
There's a lot. I'm going to go with a recent one, and that was 2020. It was a pandemic year, of course, there. And TJ beating Aliquippa 35-28 in overtime in the championship game at North Allegheny. Outstanding game. I remember it had so much hype because it was like, holy cow, Aliquippa and TJ are playing a football game, which they hadn't done in like 40 years. And that was just a fantastic game. And Jake Pugh, his dad's BJ. He's the coach of West Mifflin. But Jake Pugh, 3-yard sneak into the end zone in overtime, 35-28 TJ, another championship for the Jaguars, and that was a heck of a game.
I think there's only one answer for me. It's the one that made me fall in love with high school sports. It's the Our Father, the hook and ladder, Central Catholic beating Gateway, but Gateway's unbelievable 2 onside kicks and of course the hook and ladder called the Our Father kind of cemented the rivalry like between Central Catholic and Gateway. It was like real hatred back. Like that was the early days of Facebook where people were just going nuts at each other, and there was no repercussions of colleges or anything. Like there was real hatred between the players there. I'm going. That was the 07 championship game. So give me that one.
I'm going a little bit more personal. I'm going to go with the 2018 WPIAL championships and all of them because I was able to do television and radio. One of my dear broadcast partners, Josh Taylor, we were calling the single A championship game between Olsh and Rochester, doing play-by-play in color, and then we would hurry up, the two of us, and run down to the TV booth and do the halftime show on television and then run back and complete the game doing play-by-play. We did that for 2 games. We did TV for all 4 games. It was just one of those things where we kept looking at each other, shaking our heads, going, this is the coolest thing, because when you grow up in this city and when you experience the WPIAL championships, whether it's a player, a coach, a band, a cheerleader, a media member, there's young men and women that are just going to be taking pictures and being a photographer, but they're going to remember being on the field at Acrisure Stadium. It's such an iconic thing. It needs to continue. Pittsburgh Steelers have done such a nice job at supporting local high school athletes. It's the best district championship on the planet. Most of the times, the only way that you could get on an NFL stadium in high school football is playing a state championship. That's how it works in 98% of every other state, and we get to do it here just for our district, just for our little slice of the state of Pennsylvania. That's what makes the WPIAL so great.
Well said. Great end cap on a wonderful show. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to JRM and everybody in the back. I'm speechless at this broadcast.
Jake Bislivchik, Corey Berger in the back.
Jake and the crew, great job, guys.
Another Emmy award-winning production.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And thank you to everybody for tuning in as well.
Well, we're not done yet, all right? Thanks to everybody for tuning in, the cast of thousands, and all of you for tuning in from across X and YouTube. And best of luck to all the teams. For Brad, Carlo, and everybody here at Tequila Cowboy, Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching. And as always, make sure you're keeping your receipts.
Long throw.
Good night, everybody.